Number 7 in the pre-training camp power rankings. The Lions were a delight to the rest of the NFL fan base last year. Every fan fell in love with them. They're on national TV a bunch, and they're one of the best teams in the regular season. Obviously, the season didn't end the way that they wanted, but it almost seems like teams have kind of given up on them as the darling of the NFL, and they've moved on to other teams with younger quarterbacks that have brighter futures, whatever. To me, I don't understand why the Lions are being counted out as much as they are across different sites from different writers and reporters. They lose both their coordinators, but Kelvin Shepard's coming from in-house. They still have all of this talent offensively. I think the Lions are still going to be one of the best teams in the NFC, even though they've taken on a different role this season across the perception of the NFL. We see this happen in phases in the NFL all the time. Teams go from being super loved to all of a sudden being the villains. And there's a good chance the Lions are moving from that hero role to villain this season, and I honestly can't wait to see them fill that role. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello, good morning, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on Facebook and YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the like button. Get that content pushed out. We'd appreciate it. Right here from the Blazy Electric Studio. Happy Tuesday. Let's get things started right now. Look, the Tigers are losers of 7 of their last 8 games. I don't want to say it's full-on panic time, but there are people out there who are, in fact, ready to push that panic button. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I think over the course of the last 2 weeks, we have been able to recognize that this team is more flawed than we initially thought. Look, again, I'm not trying to hit that panic button, but I think what has become apparent is the gap between the Tigers and everyone else in the American League, and I'm talking about the Astros, the Mariners, Toronto, who's red hot right now, the gap between the Tigers and the rest of the American League is maybe a little bit closer than people realize. And over the course of the last 8 games, I think the Tigers' flaws have been put on display for the entire league to see. And I sure hope that Tigers fans out there can recognize all of these flaws and understand that at this deadline, there needs to be a pretty big haul that Scott Harris goes after here. And I know what I'm doing right now. I'm going to set myself up for a disappointing trade deadline. I already know it. I just know it, right? I've got a wish list for you guys. It's got 5 players on it. If we landed 3 of those players, like if I set that standard at, all right, 2.5 players of the 5, and I'll be happy. I know what I'm doing. I'm setting myself up to be disappointed. Hell, I could set it at 1.5. If they can get 2 of these guys, or 1 of these guys for that matter, I'll be happy. And guess what? I'm probably setting myself up to be disappointed. But you know what? This team has been shut out twice since the All-Star break. They have put up 3 runs since the All-Star break. You want to know how that ranks amongst the rest of Major League Baseball? It's dead last. We talk about the relief pitchers. We talk about the starting rotation and how you'd like to add another arm to there. And good golly almighty, Jack Flaherty really might be one of the more overpaid players in the league. He can't even get to the 4th inning yesterday, and this Pirates offense that is 28th in average, 26th in OPS, and 30th in slugging ends up destroying him in the 2nd inning. Faces 8 batters in that 2nd inning and can't even make it into the 4th. Like, I get it. The rotation's not perfect. The bullpen is certainly not perfect. But these bats at the bottom of the lineup need a little bit of a boost. This offense in general also needs a little bit of a boost. The 7, 8, 9 hitters yesterday were Parker Meadows, Matt Vierling, and Trey Sweeney. A bottom 3 of the lineup that I never thought we'd actually have to see all together. I get it. Everybody's got a bad bat at the bottom of their lineup, but I didn't anticipate the Tigers ever having to use a lineup with all 3 of those players. And guess what? They did yesterday. And Parker Meadows actually had a decent game out in center field. Had a couple hits, or 1 hit as well. So, like, I get it. I get it. But you can't throw those 3 guys out as your 7, 8, and 9 hitters and then anticipate getting any sort of production from them on a routine basis. Kerry Carpenter coming back will help, but you know what else will help? A guy who's red hot, the hottest hitter in baseball, a guy who has openly said he wants to come play for Detroit. Damn it, if Scott Harris doesn't go try to get Gino Suarez. That was for you, Kyle. If Scott Harris doesn't try to go get Gino Suarez and doesn't land him, what kind of business are they operating? The best player that's available wants to come play in your city, wants to put your jersey on again. Everyone is going to be trying to compete to get a guy like Gino Suarez. You can add a guy with 36. Yeah, that's right. 36. He had another one yesterday. 36 home runs. And you can add this guy into your lineup. Instantly, he'd be your best hitter. 900 plus OPS. Getting worked up and sweaty already at 9 a.m. because it's going to drive me nuts if the Tigers sit back and do nothing here at the trade deadline. Now, I don't think you have to anticipate them doing nothing, but if they decide, yeah, we'll settle. We'll get a bullpen guy, maybe add a bat. We're not going to go all in and invest in this farm system that we've built up. Well, if you're not going to spend the guys in the farm system and you're not going to pay Scooble, then what are we doing? Right? You cannot not be all in the next 2 trade deadlines and then also not pay Tarek Scooble. Because I don't know about you, Kyle, the last couple days, really since that Sunday Night Baseball game where we've seen ESPN articles, the Athletic articles, the Sunday Night Baseball crew, everyone just kind of writing in Scooble to be a Yankee, Met, or Dodger, certainly doesn't make me feel great, right? And now we are at this point in the trade deadline, really in the point in the season where the trade deadline's here, and suddenly Scott Harris has to make a decision. Scott Harris has to make a decision whether or not he wants to start investing future assets, like the guys in the farm system, to win right now. Right now, there is a guy staring at you who has 36 home runs who wants to come play on your team. What is the Tigers' exact need from this offseason? Someone who can play on the left side of the infield, a right-handed bat with some power. Check, check, check. This guy is on fire right now and is driving up his price by the day. Arizona has no incentive to trade him until they find an offer that is better than every other offer. And the Tigers have the ability to go make Arizona that offer to get Gino Suarez in the building and help this Tigers team. We get it. The bottom of this lineup right now is in need of a little bit of a spark. And you adding Kerry Carpenter and Gino Suarez to the lineup not only would be a spark, but it'd be the best addition anyone can make in the American League. Offensively. Probably just period. I don't even think I need to put offensively in there. Again, the gap between the Tigers and the Astros and Toronto is closing. I think it's safe to say that maybe the Tigers aren't the world beaters that we thought they were at the beginning of the season because they're 20-20 in their last 40 games. In their last 40 games, fellas. Toronto and Houston are both within 1.5 games of that first place spot. We are 4 games into from the All-Star break, and they are already, implode is not the correct word to use, but they're already starting to give ground for that first place team. It's already seeming like a realistic thing that could happen. Hey, you might not be the best team in the American League. You know how you can actually widen that gap and solidify yourself as that top team, as the team that's going to not only, keep winning, but expand on that lead in the American League? You add a guy like Gino Suarez with a 900 OPS. You add a new best hitter to the lineup. He wants to come play for you. Scott Harris, I'm begging you, man. Look, am I kind of crashing out here at 9:08 on Tuesday morning when the trade deadline is still 9 days away? Yeah, I am. Because the Tigers have lost 7 of their last 8 games, and there's moves to be made. And for some reason, I see some people out there that's like, no, this team's fine. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's a long season. And I try to take into consideration all of those things. No team is perfect right now. Even the Dodgers lost 7 in a row a couple of weeks ago. But guess what every Dodgers fan was doing then? Drawing up, how do we get Paul Skeens? How do we get Suarez? How do we get all these guys? You have to improve on your roster, and the Tigers are far from a perfect roster. They've got a chance to land who is the best bat available. He wants to come play for you. Scott Harris, you have to get this done. You no longer have any options. Finally, for the first time in 10 years, the Tigers need to be buyers at the deadline. And I don't want to be soft buyers. I don't want to go add one relief pitcher and call it a day. Go get the best guy available. 989-837-6125. Where are we at? What is the top priority now? Has it shifted from bullpen to Suarez? Suarez is the best player available. Again, I'm not panicking. Although it kind of does seem like you're panicking. It kind of does seem like I'm panicking a little bit.
And it kind of sounds like you don't think they're going to do anything at the trade deadline.
It's not that I don't think they're going to do anything at the deadline. I think they are going to. I have this sneaky feeling, and it's probably built in, past tormenting that this team has done to me over the past 5 years. But I have this sneaky feeling that Suarez is going to end up a Yankee or a Blue Jay or a Mariner, and the Tigers are going to let some other team outbid them and close the gap on them, and they're going to sit back and watch and not do that much because they're in over their heads in the front office that they believe in their own guys a little bit too much. And they have reason to believe in their own guys, but that's not an excuse to not add players and not add the top guy available in Gino Suarez here at the deadline. He wants to come play for you. So what is the holdup? Do not, I repeat, do not let a team like the Yankees or Mariners close the gap on you. That is when we will have some seriously ugly discussions about Scott Harris. And I'm not trying to speak that into existence. I just have this sneaky, gross feeling in my stomach right now that I don't know how to describe it, Kyle. I just don't like the feeling I have in my stomach right now. It feels like they're going to sit back and let some other team go get their guy. He's their guy. They found him in 2008. They signed him.
What are the ugly conversations that we would have? Fire Scott Harris for what all he's done for this franchise so far?
We wouldn't be talking about fire Scott Harris.
Well, what's an ugly conversation then? If he doesn't go get the top guy at the trade deadline?
That would be a failure, such a failure on behalf of the GM and the front office if they are unable to get Gino Suarez. I've got other guys on my list, though. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I know what that does. It sets myself up for disappointment. I've got a full list of guys for you, Kyle. 5 of them, to be exact. That's when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. But before we take that time out, let me tell you about First Class Epoxy Now in Midland, who turns boring floors, boring concrete, into smooth, shiny, and durable floors. Perfect for garages, workshops, basements, anywhere you want floor that looks great and lasts. Their epoxy is tough enough for heavy traffic, wild dance moves. You can dance that new Tyler album. Yes, I'm being serious. Professional prep, flawless finish, done on time and built to last. Say goodbye to stains, cracks, and dull gray floors, and say hello to slick showroom shine. Love a good alliteration. First Class Epoxy Now, or visit firstclassepoxynow.com. First Class Epoxy Now, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't even know they needed. We'll be right back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt, worked up on a Tuesday.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that, if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top-quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle. The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Three minutes ago, tweet from John Heyman, MLB Network, says teams that are the most likely to acquire Gino Suarez at the deadline, 36 home runs, leads the NL, tied with Judge, 2 behind Raleigh, are the Yankees, Mariners, and Cubs. I can't tell you how frustrated I was yesterday when I was just speed walking around Midland listening to Dan Dickerson. I probably got to the point where I was stomping my feet because you go into a game against this Pirates team. I understand Paul Skeens is on the mound, but you know what? You know what, Kyle? They were 4-8 when he was on the mound, or at least that was his win-loss record yesterday. going into the game. It's not like when he's out there, they're this invincible team the same way the Tigers feel like an invincible team.
Well, yeah, they're not invincible because their offense sucks.
Correct. And, of course, the Pirates' offense has
that's what I was going to bring up.
No issue just hammering Jack Flaherty, hammering them.
I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit here. But, you told me you were tired this morning, and then all of a sudden this is the most energy I think you've had.
I don't know.
To start a show
I don't know what's going on.
The Tigers faced Paul Skeens yesterday. And I understand the frustration of the 3 runs post All-Star break. Total, that is valid for sure. But let's see how things go tonight, and then really we can be okay, something is actually up. Because you faced Skeens yesterday, the best pitcher on the planet. Potentially.
But what if they score 4 runs tonight? It's there are no issues on this team.
Well, no.
The offense is fine if they score 4 runs tonight. I don't want to get into that mindset.
What is
if you've
the
got
mindset?
a chance to add players and there's a guy who wants to come play for you who has 36 home runs, why would you not go get him? I don't get why this is complicated.
I'm sure
really shouldn't be.
I'm sure they want to go get him, Ben. I'm sure they are inquiring about that. It's tough with these other teams that are always willing to maybe, and I know this is a bad answer to you because I know what your response is going to be, but there's just teams that are more aggressive at the deadline than others every year. And I understand your argument should be the Tigers should be one of those teams. But we don't know if they are yet. We don't know because they haven't been in this opportunity in over a decade.
What are we talking about, though? You're the 1 seed right now. There's teams catching up. You're, in a small sample size, falling apart. I don't think that's an understatement. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games. They can't score right now.
I think falling apart is an overstatement.
Over the course of the last... Okay, how about this then?
Every team goes through slumps.
What about this? They've regressed back to the means. They're 20-20 in their last 40 games. I'm not sitting here telling you that they're not an awesome baseball team. Lock them in to make the playoffs. But I can't sit here and tell you guaranteed 1 seed anymore. 2 teams within 2 games. They're playing average baseball for the last 40 games. And I think you're seeing some of that 2024 Tigers offense that was bottom half of the league kind of creeping back in. Now, they're a much improved offense. Let's get that out of the way. It's not like they're some terrible offense by any stretch of the imagination. But didn't we kind of say going into the year, just be average? What if they are just kind of an average offense that has a lot of depth and their star players got better, so maybe they're above average? Let's get that out of the way. But they're 3rd right now in runs in the American League. So you can tell me, hey, Ben, they're way above average. That's fine. Okay, in July, they're 14th. In July, we're 22 days into July. So, again, not a crazy sample size.
With an all-star break in the middle of that.
Right, but they have not had a ton of success here this month because, Carey's been hurt. But, regardless, even if they were, not 14th in runs scored, and you had a chance to add a talent like that, why would you let another team close in the gap? I don't get the opportunity. I don't get letting that opportunity pass by and not doing anything about it. And to your point, we haven't seen it. We don't know if the Tigers are going to match the aggression of teams like the Mariners and the Yankees. Those are just the American League teams that are going to be trying to get Suarez. But if now is not the time to be aggressive, then I guess I don't really understand when is the time to be aggressive. Unless they would rather than going all in the next 2 seasons, unless they're just nope, sustained success, we'll try to just win the worst division in baseball every year and get lucky one of these years. No, make your own luck. Because if you add a guy like that, all of a sudden I really can look here and tell you this is the best team in the American League. Because I think over the past 40 games, that reputation of hands down best team in the American League has disappeared a little bit. Again, they've 500 baseball last month and a half. So,
and to your point about the sustained success, they can also make moves at the deadline, be aggressive, and still have this sustained success. I mean, they're the best team in the American League with the number 1 farm system in all of baseball.
Correct.
It's
but what's the point
of
having the farm system if you're not going to spend some guys to try to win a World Series?
Right, and what I'm saying is...
the goal is not to have the number 1 farm system or win the high A baseball championship or the Midwest League. No offense. It's to win a World Series. That's why you have the farm system. So if you've got a chance to spend some of these guys to help you win a World Series, or for one of the best hitters in baseball, what are we talking about?
You're right.
Case in point. 989-837-6125. A couple chats in the YouTube right now. Comments in the YouTube chat, I guess I should say. Tigers' flaws are starting to come to light. Not sure if one hitter will fix everything. What about a hitter with 36 home runs? Be the best hitter on the team. If you are going to drain the farm system, I hope we get something back from more than just a rental. That's from Michael. Here's the best part. Getting Suarez, guy who's on an expiring contract, you don't have to get rid of Max Clark or Kevin McGonigal. So as long as you're keeping those two names safe, isn't that going to keep most Tigers fans happy? Does the average Tigers fan know any other top 30 prospects? Maybe Briseño. But at the end of the day, you keep those two guys at the deadline, you're probably happy. Ben, the Tigers need to send Suarez to... Wait, the Tigers need to send a message to all the underperforming players and get rid of them and aggressively go get Gino Suarez. And the time is now. Enough waiting. Harris needs to man up. Now, you know what? I'm going to do something crazy. Dwayne was right. Dwayne has called out the Suarez thing for months. Like months. Dating back to May probably, he's been asking for Suarez. This is Dwayne's best take that he's ever had. A diehard listener of the station and the show. He's...
Number one fan.
Number one fan, number one hater, all wrapped into one. But Dwayne was spot on with this Suarez thing. He's been saying it for months. That Suarez needed to be a Tiger, this reunion. Before Suarez got hot and turned into the number one guy that's going to be available here at the deadline. But I did promise the people more than just Suarez, because when you put your eggs in one basket, you set yourself up for disappointment. I understand that's probably exactly what I'm doing by putting these high expectations on the Tigers and expecting them to be one of the more aggressive teams at the deadline. They don't have a reputation for doing that. I sure would love them to show that they want to win a World Series. But just to throw a few other names out there. My wish list for the Tigers for this year's trade deadline. Gino Suarez, number 1. David Bednar, Pirates reliever who we saw yesterday, number 2. Sandy Alcantara, number 3. I know what you're saying. Sandy Alcantara's a downgrade from Jack Flaherty. This is Jack Flaherty's one of these guys.
Sentence should end right there.
Okay, let me just make my case for like 20 seconds. Jack Flaherty has lost his velocity. There is nothing Chris Fetter can do to fix that. He is a deteriorated arm. Chris Fetter doesn't have the magic juice to start making him throw harder, right? Sandy, since coming back from his Tommy John, kind of just seems like a lost player. I think Chris Fetter can actually help fix him. It's his next Tune Me Up project. Number 4, another starter, Zach Gallen from Arizona. Maybe get both of those guys. And then Ryan Helsley, the relief pitcher for Tampa, would be my 5th. Go get some of these guys, man. That's my wish list for the Tigers.
Helsley.
Yeah, excuse me, the Cardinals. Go get some of these guys, man. Go get some of these guys. That is how you make your fan base happy here at the deadline. 989-837-6125. Jay says, Tigers are looking more and more like last year's Twins. Whoa. No more waiting. If this current if this current offense hasn't gotten anyone's attention, then what will? No matter how good pitching is, you still need offense. Harris is going to watch and do nothing. What's the confidence level in Scott Harris right now?
It sounds like
low.
A 0, man.
It feels low for me.
It feels low from you. It feels low from other people as well.
We're yet to see it.
We're yet to see it because they haven't been put in this position. That's my only, what did we have expected Scott Harris to do up to this point? I think he's done everything he's supposed to do.
I'll raise my hand and say last year at the deadline, I did ask to buy.
Why?
Well, it turned out it was the right decision.
I mean,
you would have kept Flaherty.
It wasn't the right decision.
Who knows what would have happened?
You literally got Flaherty back.
You would have had another arm.
Sure.
Instead of pitching by
They
chaos.
still went to the playoff. Like, last year, they did what they were supposed to do. If they would have done nothing, you would have been more mad than what they did.
You know what? Michael in the chat brings up a good point. If Mike Ilitch still owned this team, you think we'd all kind of be assuming Suarez is a Tiger the same way everyone's assuming Suarez is just going to be a Yankee?
Potentially. We'd feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, maybe this isn't I don't know. Maybe it is a Harris thing over an Ilitch thing because this isn't paying him money. This isn't coughing up an enormous contract the way that Chris Ilitch has been hesitant to do. This is giving up prospects, and I think who's hoarding the prospects, Ilitch or Scott Harris? That seems more like a Scott Harris thing. But I do.
Well,
agree.
yeah, those are his guys. You know,
if Mike's still on the team, he'd probably be stepping in and saying, "What are we talking about right now? we can go get a guy with 36 home runs. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Right.
989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes returned from the All-Star break this weekend, going undefeated. Just 2 games, though, as the game on Sunday was canceled. Friday and Saturday, Loons winners over Dayton. One big-time homer put out this weekend by guess who? Cam Decker went deep once again, his 4th homer in just 15 games with Great Lakes. And here's how it sounded on Saturday night. In the 1-0, Decker swings, rips it out to deep left field. Moving back is Stefan, and all he can do is watch it fly. Another Decker dinger. Back-to-back games for him. He did it on Sunday. Took some days off during the week. Crushes that one. 4-1 Loons. Loons are back at Dow Diamond to start a 6-game home series with Beloit on Tuesday. First pitch at 7:05, pregame coverage at 6:50 here on the Mitt.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of the mall?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Don't let our obsession with getting Gino Suarez let you lose track of the fact that Jack Flaherty, I just don't think he can go out there for a playoff game, Kyle. I trust is a big word that I keep using, and I get it. I'd like to be a little bit more specific on why. When he's out there, it just feels like the Tigers are inevitably going to give up a ton of runs, and if they don't give him a ton of run support, which they obviously did not yesterday, probably going to result in a loss for the one and only Jack Flaherty, who is making $25 million this year and is That's just probably one of the more overpaid contracts in Major League Baseball at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, it turns into much less next season, so it's not like the worst contract of all time long-term wise. But, yeah, I totally get what you're saying as far as the run support stuff. I mean, he only gives up 3 yesterday, but he goes 3 innings.
Mm-hmm.
So, the bullpen stepped up, which was nice.
Want to know something crazy?
Right. Let's hear it.
Last 7 games, the Tigers have won only 1 time when he's on the mound.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, which is part of the reason I'd like to add a starter to this mix. I cut you off. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was finished. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, man, this Jack Flaherty thing seems to be rough. The bottom of the lineup seems to be rough. There's a lot more holes on this team than I think we initially realized, and that's part of getting off to a hot start. And part of getting off to a hot start is you can afford to go into a little bit of a 500 stretch, which is what the Tigers have been on for 40 games.
I do want to say, once again, worth noting, you faced one of the best rotations in Major League Baseball this weekend with the Rangers, and you faced Paul Skeens last night.
Yeah, but 3 runs, I mean.
I get it. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's not like you faced, like Chris said on yesterday's show, it's not like you faced the Orioles, and then you faced the White Sox last night.
Geno Suarez has more runs produced by himself since the All-Star break than the Detroit Tigers do.
Right, and he
Let's
also
add
was
that guy.
Sure. Might as well.
What were you going to say?
No, nothing, man. You got it.
If they don't want to be ultra aggressive and be the most aggressive team at the deadline this year, that makes me think they're probably not going to do it next year either. Then you got to pay Skubal. There is no.
Ooh, this is good.
What? It's true though.
Like a this or that kind of thing.
You don't get to do neither. Right? You kind of have to decide right now. I know. You have to kind of decide right now before this year's deadline. Are we going to pay Tarik Skubal no matter what the price is? Are we going to let ourselves get outbid for Tarik Skubal? Are we saying no matter what, we will match any deal anyone else throws out? We were keeping him in Detroit. If that's the case, I'm not going to be all that angry for not being all in at the deadline, although I won't know that for 2 years, so you betcha I'll probably be angry. But it would be some sort of reassurance, right? If they're not ultra aggressive in the next 2 years and then they're able to re-sign Skubal, okay, then maybe we understand why. But if you're not going to be ultra aggressive and then you also don't re-sign Skubal, then that's when it's
also
problematic.
The trades that you make at this year's deadline should not affect the future of the Skubal contract, especially if you're trading for expiring deals.
No.
That should not affect that by any means.
Correct, but I guess more so what I'm trying to say is you can't not be aggressive in both departments.
Right.
You have to spend in free agency or on your own guys, or you have to spend your farm system. You can't just sit back and do neither. 989-837-6125. Let us hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Kyle.
Ben. Oh, we
That's
had the
good.
same time up, too. That was close.
Pretty good.
You mentioned it, but Eugenio Suarez goes deep again. His 5th homer in 3 games, now up to 36 on the season. Let's stop talking about it, though.
Okay.
Let's talk some NFL training camp stuff because we got a bunch of stuff going on this week with nearly every team back into it. 26 of the 32 NFL teams report to training camp today. By tomorrow, the last 2 teams, Steelers and Falcons, will report. We got some news. Trey Hendrickson, not there. He's in Florida, actually. Not at training camp with the Bengals. Seems like he's back in his word that he's going to sit out without a new contract.
It looked like he was enjoying some sort of nice scenic morning bike ride or walk with the sun rising out in Florida. Nowhere near Cincinnati. He's not showing up, man.
Tough look. Rough offseason for the Bengals.
It's so funny that the Bengals are this team that notoriously gets off to bad starts. What are they, 0-2 each of the last 3 years?
Yeah, 0-3 sometimes.
And they're kicking off this year with their best player and their first-round pick having contract issues. Just hilarious stuff from one of the worst-run organizations in sports
Really
that just
is.
happened to luck into drafting Joe Burrow.
It's not your worst take, that's for sure. More contract stuff with edge rushers. Micah Parsons does report to camp amid his unsettled contract. This is nothing new for the Cowboys. It seems like they go into every single training camp with some sort of contract dispute or question mark thereof. But Micah Parsons is there to play.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised he showed up. Jerry Jones had this whole thing that was, well, you leadership, presence, and I don't know. Sometimes when Jerry Jones starts talking, I wonder if he actually is aware of how stupid he sounds. I feel like the answer is most of the time no, he doesn't. But yeah, Micah's there, so I don't know. Maybe he'll have a new contract by week 1.
I would guess not.
I would also guess not.
He might. Who knows? We'll see. Let's do some NHL news. The 6th overall pick in the 2025 NHL draft from the Philadelphia Flyers, Porter Martone. He's going to play hockey at Michigan State this year, coming over from the CHL. Obviously, we talked, I think, last week or maybe the week before about Gavin McKenna, the number 1 prospect for next year's draft, choosing Penn State over Michigan State. But MSU still gets a big-time name to play hockey there this season, and he's already been drafted into the NHL.
Hockey school. Michigan
right.
State.
Some are saying that, yes. They put a lot of money into the program the last couple of years. Moving on to some baseball news. Tigers-Pirates, obviously, tonight, Game 2. Casey Mize versus Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller, another name thrown out there for a guy that not just the Tigers might trade for, but he's in trade talks. One of the big 3, I would say, of the Pirates. So we'll see how that righty-righty matchup goes tonight between Mize and Keller. And then tomorrow, on Wednesday, the Tigers are to call up their number 10 prospect and number 3 pitching prospect, Troy Melton, to start the game on Wednesday. I'm super excited for this, Ben. Melton has been kind of really nice this year in both AA and AAA. Wasn't with Toledo for too long, but he's going to make his debut tomorrow night.
Should be fun. Hopefully can provide some spark, provide some life, and then maybe the Tigers don't have to trade for a starter.
Right.
They can focus on relief pitchers and a bat.
Yeah, Melton was a guy that I thought might be tossed around in potential trades. I would assume this means he's not going to be.
Yeah, they're just investing in him.
Right, exactly. So hopefully he does good because obviously they need some guys in that rotation.
Only 36 innings pitched so far in AAA this year, but a 2.72 average. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think he won.
I'm sorry, 2.72 ERA.
Yeah, like 10 games in AA, I believe, and then less than that in AAA. So he's been about half and half between Erie and Toledo. We got some fun news in the MLB. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, a former Pirate, Rich Hill, who is age 45, is going to start for the Royals tonight. It'll be his first start of this 2025 season. He signed a minor league deal with the Royals a month or so ago. He's going to tie Edwin Jackson for the most franchises played for in MLB history at 14, which is nearly half the league. And he will also be the first pitcher 45 or older to appear in a game since Bartolo Colon in 2018.
How old is Justin Verlander at this point?
42? Pretty sure 42.
He looks
having a rough year as
older
well.
than 42.
Having a tough season, JV is, which is pretty brutal. Better year than Alex Cobb is having, right?
Well, I mean, if he throws one pitch, even if it goes for a home run, you could argue that's a better season than Alex Cobb is having.
And then final news. I figure we might as well give an MLB standings update since we haven't done that in a while because the Tigers are no longer the best team in baseball. It's a new team. You know who took over the best record, Ben?
The Brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers at 60-40 with the 60 win percentage are number 1. Pretty split across the top right now, though. I mean, it's a tight top at the race or tight race at the top between the top teams. Toronto leading the AL East at 59-41. As you mentioned, right there behind the Tigers, 58-42. The Astros lead the AL West. And then out in the National League, Phillies lead the NL East just by a half a game over the Mets at 57-43. Brewers at 60-40, just one game over the Cubs in the NL Central. And the Dodgers still lead the National League West at 59-42.
Brewers 23-7 in their last 30 games. Just on fire right now. 989-837-6125. You know, Loons are back in town this week. Should be a lot of fun baseball. In between the show, ending at noon, and the game starting at 7, I'm going to try to make it to the Midland Community Center. The Greater Midland Community Center, that is your hub for health, wellness, and fun right in the heart of Midland. From fitness classes, an open gym, to swimming, youth sports, and family activities, there is something for everybody. Affordable memberships, expert staff, and a welcoming space for all ages and abilities. If you're hosting an event, ask about their rental spaces and full-service event support. Stay active, stay connected, all under one roof. That's Greater Midland Community Center. Learn more or sign up today at greatermidland.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Kyle, I feel like I owe you an apology. I'd like to apologize to you for absolutely crashing out on the golf course yesterday in a way that I had never done before. You know, I've thrown a club, I've slammed a club, but yeah. I don't think I've ever just decided I was done.
Yeah.
A hole 17, 3 balls lost, just 7-iron goes right into the dirt and dents the ground. And I was like, you know what? Count me in for whatever on this one. I'll tee off on 18, and lost the ball on that one too. I try to think of myself as a calm individual. There's something about when I step into that golf course, man. I can't do it sometimes.
See, there's been nothing about you in the last 16 hours that has represented calm individual.
I know,
including the show today.
Yeah, I'm a little more worked up than I feel like
it's
I
almost
usually
repeated
get.
from it's almost like the golf course is lingering over into today's show.
It's pent up anger. Yeah, yesterday was tough right from the first tee off, and I think I corrected myself from hole 1 to hole 17. But hole 1, some bad words screamed.
Yeah, you know when things are being shouted.
That was bad.
When things are being shouted on the first tee box in an 18-hole golf.
It's involuntary. It really is.
It's going to be a rough day when that happens.
I know. And it did, in fact, end up being a pretty rough day on the course. So I'd like to apologize to you for absolutely crashing out. Because you don't seem like a crash out guy. Even if you lose a ball or something, you're happy to be on the course.
I enjoy the game of golf. And I think it's at some point, too. And, I mean, this is your first summer playing golf, right? Like,
yes.
playing?
Yeah.
And like I'm new to golf as well. It's not my first summer playing, but I'm not any good. But I think it's just it's a good time when you recognize that you're just bad at golf. So when
I don't think I can do it though. I'm too competitive with myself.
I'm competitive as well, and like I'm trying to get better, and I get upset. But like crashing out on the golf course, it's just not the spot to do it. Being on the golf course is supposed to be like a time away from the stress.
I know.
It's just a relaxing thing to do, and it's fun. Not really relaxing. It's just fun. It's a time to enjoy yourself.
That's the way it should be. Correct. And then, but I don't know. There's something about it where I feel like with sports in general, I'm just kind of ultra competitive, especially with something I care about, like ultra competitive with basketball, like I guess like cornhole, honestly, even cornhole.
Cornhole, that's kind of
get worked up about.
That's kind of crazy.
But now that I've really invested myself in like golfing, I'm so angry that I'm not good at it. And I know it's going to take a long time, and I wish I could go back out there again today and practice it. But it's just making me. It gets me angry sometimes.
Well, and it's also because it's the you versus you sport, and I think that's probably why you feel that way, and a lot of people do because. You're not really playing against people. I mean, you are, but you're playing against yourself more than anything.
Correct. Right? Yeah, and I don't seem to win against myself.
All I'll say is
the
odds of you hitting a good shot following a crash out are quite low.
I'm aware. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. 989-837-6125. We actually are kind of debating. We were debating what to do with this text message that we got yesterday. We didn't end up doing anything with it, but now they've reached out once again, and I almost want to ask our other listeners what to do here. So I think there's just a mother out there that is trying to reach out to her kids and maybe has a wrong number or something. So I'll just go ahead and read it. Hello, sons of mine. Extra sons of mine. We're going to be gone from, well, I'm going to leave off the dates. Could maybe one of you guys watch the dogs this week and weekend? Maybe you can split it up first half, second half. Maybe you can split up the weekend and the weekdays. Please let me know so I can make sure that we have doggy coverage while we're gone. I didn't think anything of it yesterday, but then again, they reached out today, an hour ago, and said, just wanted to verify that both of you received my message, just in case you don't know, this is blank blank, blank's mom. Should I text back this person? This is a radio station?
This is to your phone number, or this is to the station phone number?
This is to the 989-837-6125. I feel like, should I just reply, this is a radio station? This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Bit.
Right, or you just tell her that, yeah, we'll watch. You're like, yeah, I got your message. We're thinking it over.
What if you and I show up to watch the dogs?
I've dog sat a time or two in my life.
Just once?
No, a few times.
Twice?
Same group of dogs every time, but
3 times? I feel like I just need to put this person straight.
Yeah, you probably should give them but what if they are reaching out to us? I mean, it's two of us.
A radio station. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. We just read your text message live to the Great Lakes Bay region. Why
what
not?
you should do is you should say, this is the wrong number. This is the number you're looking for, and then send them John Vicari's phone number.
I don't think John's a big dog guy, though.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he likes the dogs very much.
Austin in the YouTube chat says, got to take the dogs to Pontooners weekend. Hey.
That would be funny to bring them out
good
to
idea.
the ballpark this weekend. I'll craft up a reply for them when we go to break next. So here's what we've got coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. I want to do a little hype or hope Detroit Lions training camp edition. We're reading pieces. We're 2 days into camp now. Some of these players that are taking up some of the stories, is it real hype or is it just Lions fans being hopeful that they're going to take a step forward? What are expectations for this offense with all these weapons that I think is the best group of weapons in the NFL? But obviously this offensive line is taking a pretty significant step backwards, and there's a new play caller in the mix as well. We'll take a trip around the league, do a whole lot more. Oh, and we're bringing back the Tuesday Tower. Here's your hint for what the Tuesday Tower is. Actually, you know what? Screw the hint. I'm just going to tell you what the Tuesday Tower is, and then we'll talk about it later on in the 11 o'clock hour. The Tuesday Tower this week is Detroit Tigers offensive players. The Bats for the Tigers, who are in need of a little bit of a boost here with the trade deadline 9 days away. 9 days away from what is probably the first time the Tigers will be buyers at the deadline in over a decade. And they've got a chance to really be big-time buyers. They can go get the number one guy available at the deadline, Geno Suarez.
Where does this trade deadline rank for you as far as important days in Detroit sports over the last year?
Well, it doesn't beat either of the playoff games or any of the playoff games
right.
for the Lions. So there's 3.
I'm assuming Pistons playoff game, obviously, too. Playoff series, we can just call it.
Playoff series, Tigers 2 playoff series. This is probably the biggest thing in the regular season, no? Because, I mean, the trade deadline in baseball, like, there's usually some player trades in the NFL, but it's pretty hard to significantly upgrade your team. Like the Zadarius Smith move was actually pretty awesome on behalf of Brad Holmes. It's pretty hard to find impact players like that at the deadline in the NFL. In Major League Baseball, you can add some legitimate guys to your lineup.
Yeah, it's probably the most. I mean, the NBA definitely has a word for this as well, but it's probably the most active trade deadline in pro sports.
Yeah. And you know what? Now that I think about it, other than playoff series, this trade deadline in the week leading up to it is probably the most important stretch for a team over the past 2 years in Detroit, right? It's not like there's been like this. I guess the playoff race last year in the regular season was pretty important, but that was almost like house money. Now there's actually real implications and stakes on the line and pressure on the Tigers to do something here so that they can widen the gap between them and everyone else in the AL once again, because right now that gap is shrinking. Astros, Mariners, Toronto, all knocking on the door, that 1 seed, Yankees as well. So they've got a chance to say, you know what, we saw that stretch that you guys had. Everyone else is hot. We're playing 500 ball. We see you catching up. We're actually going to add Geno Suarez. We're going to add David Bednar. We're going to add Zach Gallen. Any of these guys. They need to improve this lineup. Or they can call up their 10th overall prospect, which they did with Troy Melton, who will start tomorrow's game. 989-837-6125. Higher Standard Automotive, the name, I mean, it says it all. Honest, reliable auto repair done the right way the first time. Locally owned and operated, serving Midland with expert service and small-town integrity. From oil changes to brake jobs, diagnostics, and major repairs, they handle it all with precision and care. ASE certified techs, fair pricing, and a commitment to doing things the right way the first time because your car deserves better than good enough. Drive with confidence. Choose Higher Standard Automotive.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Hour number 2 on the way right now. Let's do a little hype or hope. Are we having wishful thinking and just being hopeful about some of these guys that have had nice starts to training camp, according to the people that are there? Or are we truly buying in to the hype? The first person that I think we should start with is the one, the only quarterback that the Lions have drafted since Matthew Stafford at 1.01. I'm talking about Hendon Hooker, third-round pick. Had apparently, reportedly, his nicest day of training camp in a Lions uniform yesterday. Said he was feeling fast, going through his reads a lot better, mentally a lot more prepared, better footwork. It feels like Hendon Hooker is taking a big step here in the offseason, even since OTAs earlier this spring. Are you buying the hype, or is this just hope? You know where I stand on the backup quarterback talk, Kyle. It's almost always irrelevant because if Jared Goff gets hurt, it doesn't really matter who the backup is. The Lions are probably screwed for a little bit.
Well, duh. And that's most teams in the NFL.
Correct.
So that's why backup quarterback talk is probably just, I mean, I don't know if they're screwed because, like, let's say Jared Goff gets hurt for a month in the middle of the season.
Right.
That's different. Like,
yes.
Can Hendon Hooker or Kyle Allen fill the void?
I don't have any confidence in Kyle Allen.
Well, I think the Lions do because it seems like he's the backup right now over Hendon Hooker.
Not according to some of the stuff I was reading about how good of a day Hendon Hooker had yesterday.
Look, any report that says the nicest outing or whatever, I'm just out on that.
Why?
Because, like, who cares?
If he had a nice day at training camp, I don't know. That seems
We've
noteworthy
seen all
that the
this stuff,
quarterback
man.
you had a nice day at training camp.
I
It's better than
understand.
what he's been doing at training camp the last couple of years, because most of the
You're
time
right.
the practice reports from Hendon Hooker from camp are like, yeah, he's not very good, like at all. So the fact that we're finally getting some that are positive, I think this is.
I just feel like the fact that he's not the solidified backup quarterback already is just the biggest red flag ever. Why is he already not the backup?
Who says he's not? The Lions aren't just going to come out and say this person's the number 2 at any spot. They let these guys work. They let these guys go at it. I'll always defend Hendon Hooker.
Right, yeah, because you did want him to start over Jared Goff.
I just didn't want Jared Goff to get the big extension, and I was wrong. You know what?
Were you wrong, though? Because it hasn't kicked in yet. Like, we'll see if you were wrong next year.
Yes. Yes, we will. But I think I'm willing to admit I'm okay with the
Yes,
Jared
you were
Goff
wrong,
contract.
yes.
I think this is a little bit more hope than it is hype, because until you actually see him do it in even a preseason game or regular season, like those are two significant leaps. So, but then again, you're playing a pretty nasty Detroit Lions secondary every single day in camp. So I think this is, at the end of the day, a little bit more hopeful thinking than it is real hype. But it does seem like Hendon Hooker, I think, is going to be in line to be the backup quarterback for not the first time, but kind of the real first time. I know Bridgewater didn't come along until late last year, but it feels like Hendon Hooker is legitimately in line to be the backup quarterback here. I feel okay about it.
I feel okay about it, I guess, but I'm with you. This is not hype. This is hope for sure, because you just hope that we never see him play.
Right. Nothing against the guy, but yeah, that's the hope. Okay, how about this one?
Well, quickly.
Okay.
One last thing on Hooker.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, no, I had to get you back. Michael in the YouTube chat, only thing I see Hooker is as a trade chip, so of course they're going to talk him up. Who's trading for Hendon Hooker?
Yeah. Nobody.
And if you are, it's what, a 7th-round pick you're giving up for him?
It's worthless.
Yeah, so I don't see him as anything other than like maybe a guy that could fill the void for 2 or 3 games. Maybe.
Seeing an ESPN article of Hendon Hooker being traded to the Browns for Shedeur Sanders might have been the most ESPN article I've ever seen in my entire life. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Why would either team do that? All right, the next person I have for hyper hope. How about Marcus Davenport? Also reportedly yesterday had the best day he's ever had at Detroit Lions training camp. This is a guy who has struggled to stay healthy, to say the least. But when you go back and look at the numbers, those first 2 games before he was
kind of nice.
He was kind of nice with it those first couple of weeks of the season. Is this hype or is this hope? Now,
this is different, obviously, than Hooker.
Because
it's not about his play.
It's not about his play at all. Because those first 2 weeks, 6 pressures, week 1 versus the Rams, had a sack in there too. Not too big of an impact in those 40 snaps against Arizona that second week of the season. But hey, man, if Marcus Davenport can finally stay healthy, this is a pretty big impact player, again, when he is healthy. He apparently had a pretty good day in terms of getting after the quarterback. Stopping the run was kind of just overwhelming for some of these offensive linemen. Again, they don't have any pads on, but I kind of think this is more real hype than it is just hopeful thinking. And again, this all comes with the caveat of, can this guy stay healthy? I think if he can, there actually might be some real hype here for a guy who's a little bit more diverse of a skill set than Zadarius Smith, whose only job is to get after the quarterback. It feels like Marcus Davenport, if he's healthy and is across from Aiden Hutchinson, can be a little bit of a run stuffer. Not a run stuffer, but someone who can seal off one side of the ball and contain everything in, and can do a little bit more than just a Zadarius Smith. So I'm actually going to call this one real hype. Real hype for Marcus Davenport.
It's real hype, but only based on the hope that he stays healthy.
Correct.
So that's why I think it just has to be hope. Because you're just hoping he stays healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, then what happens? We know that if he does stay healthy, he really adds a ton of value to this team. But hoping for him to stay healthy is like hoping that I get a birdie on every hole when I play golf. It's just probably not going to happen.
He played 2 games last year, 4 games the year before with Minnesota, 15 the year prior with Minnesota, or with New Orleans, 11, 11, 13, 13. We just need double-digit games from Marcus Davenport. He's not going to play 17. That is he's never done it.
I mean, is 10 games played even?
For him, yes.
I guess, yeah.
This is
Just
the
not a
Levi
season-ending
Wounzarike.
injury, right.
This is the Levi Wounzarike thing for years. Can you just give us 12 games? Last year he played all the games. So
give us 12, but like be healthy at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's all you can really ask for with Davenport. Okay, the next person I had for hype or hope was Terrion Arnold. This is all hype for me.
All hype, yeah. I don't even need to hear the headline.
Okay.
Hype. Now let's hear it, though.
Well, I just read some stuff about Terrion Arnold's day yesterday where he made some plays in his own coverage, had some, pass breakups, diving through. The defense was going crazy. Some of this just lights out stuff. Like some of the best defensive highlights from the day yesterday were from Terrion Arnold. And are we deep diving day 2 of training camp here in July?
You betcha.
Yeah, you bet you are. I'm all in on the Terrion Arnold takes a significant step forward. I think all that experience that he had last year by being thrown into the fire. Again, he had more man coverage snaps than anyone in the NFL last season as a rookie. I think now that he's had an offseason to reset and he knows exactly what it takes to, what it's like at least to line up against a Justin Jefferson and a CeeDee Lamb and all these top guys. And now that he's had the mental break and understands going into this offseason what he needs to work on, how he can improve his game, I think he has all the raw attributes you want in one of these corners, the 6-foot frame, 210 pounds. So I think the hype for Terrion Arnold is real. And if Terrion Arnold can take a significant step forward and is, I don't know, a top 15 corner in the NFL this season, you pair that with DJ Reed and the 2 best safeties in the NFL, suddenly you're talking about this secondary potentially being one of the best units in the NFL. I think the Ravens have that case right now. Eagles, of course, in the conversation too. Whether or not the Lions can jump into that completely depends on if Terrion Arnold can be a true CB1. Because if he's the CB1 over DJ Reed,
yeah, that's
when you know you're cooking.
For sure. Yeah, I'm all hype on this as well. Especially the way that he ended 2024, like it was on an upwards trajectory. Always going to be a tough spot for a rookie corner to come in this type of defense.
Yeah. Aggressive man.
Yes.
A lot. Not sometimes you're blitzing more often than most other teams. You're blitzing, which means there's not help over the top.
But I think there's also a lot of pressure on Terrion Arnold this season as well, which adds to the hype. And I'm willing to say that I think he's going to back up the pressure. So I'm all in on the hype over hope here for Terrion Arnold.
Wait, this is interesting. Why do you think there's pressure on him? Because I think even if he is mostly the same corner he was last offseason, or last season, at least the second half, and he's like him and DJ Reed basically are the same. Like one of them's not. Maybe DJ Reed is a little bit better, and Terrion Arnold's like, I don't know, the 25th best corner in the NFL. Like I think the Lions secondary is still going to be fine.
If he's the 20th best corner in the NFL, it's a clear upgrade from last season.
Okay, let's say he's like 30th.
If he's the same as he was last year, then there's pressure on him because of, one, the guys behind him. Like you have Amik Robertson, who was clearly pretty good on the outside in the small sample he had last year there.
Yeah, but they want to keep him at nickel if possible.
But what if Terrion Arnold isn't good?
Oh, you're saying he regresses?
Well, I'm just saying, like, why would the Lions not move Amik Robertson out there when they've seen he can do it if Terrion Arnold doesn't perform?
And then Avonte Maddox is coming down playing the nickel?
They could figure it out. You have Ennis Rakestraw too. You might try to work in some different spots just to get him some run at some point. So, and I just think there's pressure on him because, as mentioned, the Lions' first-round picks have hit. And up to Terrion Arnold, we don't 1,000% know yet. Mm-hmm. Not saying that he can't, but Brad Holmes has been very, very efficient at the top of the NFL draft, which obviously, that's most teams should be, but that's not how it works. A lot of teams don't hit in the first round every year, and Brad Holmes has. So if Terrion Arnold is like the first guy that doesn't, I think there's some pressure there. I'm not saying that I'm not confident in him. I am, for sure. But there's pressure.
I think on Monday I need to buy Tara and Arnold stock.
I think we've both done that, honestly.
Have we? Oh.
But buy it again.
I might have to do it again.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that.
The last person I have for Hyper Hope isn't a player. It is a coach.
Ooh.
John Morton is coming in as the new offensive coordinator. He's got all these weapons, a regressed offensive line. I want to know if we're buying into the fact that this is still going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mid. Don't go anywhere and stay connected with us right here. Stay connected and secure and ahead with Linked Technologies, your local IT experts in Midland. From small businesses to large operations, they provide custom tech solutions that actually make your life easier. Specializing in networking, cybersecurity, cloud services, and managed IT support all under one roof. Fast, reliable service with real people who speak your language. Whether you're upgrading, protecting, or troubleshooting, Linked Technologies keeps your systems running smooth. Visit linkedtechsolutions.com and see how they can help your business work smarter, not harder.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Do you see yourself traveling, working part-time, or moving somewhere warmer when you retire? I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I want to help make your retirement goals a reality. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how you'll get there. Together, we can plan for the expected and make sure you're ready for the unexpected.
Search Edward Jones Financial Advisor Kevin Spencer on Facebook. 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mid is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mid and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mid. We left you with this. Is it hype or is it hope that Johnny Morton is going to lead the Lions back to being a top 5 offense for the 3rd season in a row. It's pretty rare territory. It doesn't happen very often. I think New Orleans was the last team to do it from 2019 to 2022, off the top of my head. So, like, this is pretty rare, and the Lions you'd think would be set up to jump into that rare territory of sustained excellence on the offensive side of the ball with the two best running backs, the best running back tandem in the NFL, someone who's potentially jumping into superstardom in Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, back-to-back first-team All-Pro. I don't need to read all their accomplishments. You know exactly who these guys are. Offensive line's regressing a little bit. But the thing that I've always been a little bit hesitant to tell the audience that I'm optimistic about is the play calling. And I don't think suddenly this is going to be a bad offense or that they're not going to be able to figure out how to be one of the 10 best offenses in the NFL. But again, that territory of 3 consecutive years of top 5 offenses in a row, it's just really hard to come by. And when you got a change in your play caller, I think that's going to throw a wrinkle into things, especially considering the interior of the offensive line is somewhat of a question mark at this point. What Ben Johnson was elite at, wasn't necessarily scheming up a game plan. Not that he wasn't good at that, but I think Johnny Morton's going to be able to do that with the help of Dan Campbell, who's going to be a little bit more involved than I think people realize, just doesn't really take credit for it. What Ben Johnson was elite at, though, was knowing when to push what button. It's a whole list of, 300 plays. Knowing when to pull what card out of his pocket, I thought was some of the best play calling I've ever seen. And I'm not, the oldest guy here watching football, but the timing of these things, of how to keep a defense on their heels for 4 quarters and hit them with something that they don't really expect right when they least expect it, was what Ben Johnson was so good at, whether it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 2, 2nd and 12. It didn't really matter. They caught teams off guard more often than defenses caught them off guard. And that's when I don't know what this offense is going to look like. Like, when in doubt on a 3rd and 5, what is Johnny Morton going to scheme up? Because right now it feels like this is going to be a super pass-heavy offense. I don't think they're like going away from the run, but what we do know is the Lions are publicly, and I know they've said this the last couple of years, but publicly going to run more 2 running back sets. We've heard this before, but this time it feels a lot more real, because they've mentioned it multiple times. David Montgomery's made mentions of it. Jahmyr Gibbs has made mentions of learning how to, operate from the slot on a routinely basis. This is something that John Morton's going to incorporate into the playbook, even if it's just a couple times, 4 or 5 times a game. Jameson Williams hasn't been being talked about as this game-wrecking player on the offensive side of the ball who has even another step to take from what we saw last year, which was a 1,000-yard season. Are you buying the John Morton stock? And what I mean by that is, do you think that this can still be a top 5 offense? And if the answer is no, is it more so because of John Morton, or is it more so because this offensive line is simply not the same as it was last year or the year prior?
I think it has to be more of an offensive line thing if you do answer that you're worried, right? I mean, I understand that, like, expecting John Morton to be Ben Johnson, that's not going to happen. They're completely different play callers. I think this Lions offense is probably going to be looking a little bit different. But with the amount of weapons that they have and still the talent on this offense and what they've been able to do, still a lot of the same coaching staff in there offensively, it's not like they're just going to regress and be not even a top 5 offense. So
you think it's a guarantee that they're a top 5 offense again?
I really do.
Wow.
You don't think that's fair?
No, top 10 I think is a guarantee. Top 5, that's really hard to do.
You and
Kyle.
I just talked about how the weapons is easily the number 1 group on this team. And this is a really good football team still.
The weapons are the best group.
They still have the guys.
On this team. I think this is the best group of weapons in the NFL. They have the guys.
That isn't top 5?
Here's my problem, though.
An offensive line that still features Penei Sewell.
Correct. Here's my issue, though. Without Frank Ragnow in the middle, and with 2 unproven players in the middle, is Jared Goff the same quarterback?
I think that's a really fair question.
Without Ben Johnson in his ear, is Jared Goff the same quarterback? I think Jared Goff is one of the more mentally successful quarterbacks in the NFL, if that makes sense, because he doesn't have to rely on, or he doesn't really get to rely on his physical attributions the way that, most other quarterbacks that are being drafted now. I always joke that there are no more pocket quarterbacks left in the NFL other than Jared Goff, right? And maybe you'll sprinkle in a couple, but for the most part, everyone has the ability to extend plays. Really, ever since Mahomes got drafted and took off, that's now not only an add-on, but a necessity. Even if you're not a dual-threat guy, you've got to be able to extend the play a little bit. Jared Goff doesn't do that. And so I think his game preparation and understanding how to read a defense is top-notch, top of the NFL. Maybe not the very top, but on that top tier. So I don't think suddenly a new coordinator is going to completely ruin Jared Goff. Like, I want to make it very clear. I don't think at any part of the season this offense is going to be bad. But without Ben Johnson, is the St. Brown connection the same? Is the JMO connection the same? Is there just going to be some slight differences in what they want to do in 3rd and long situations, what they feel comfortable with? Because Ben Johnson and Jared Goff had just this beautifully constructed chemistry. And we saw that if you watch the quarterback. I didn't, but I saw some clips of it, of them calling the same play, prior to, Jared Goff would call the play of what he wanted, and then Ben Johnson would actually call the play from the sideline. It was like they were on the same page at all times. Jared Goff's not the type of guy to start not liking his coordinator the way Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and their play callers all got into it last year. But I do start to wonder, is the St. Brown connection going to be the exact same? Is there going to be any sort of wrinkles now that Jared Goff is more likely than not going to be under a little bit more pressure? And I don't mean external pressure. I mean pressure from the interior because the offensive line is way different. That's the reason I struggle to say I guarantee it's a top 5 offense.
The offensive line part is definitely the reason to be concerned about that, just because of Goff under pressure. Obviously, he's a much different quarterback. He's good under pressure, but once the pressure's actually there, the play's over.
I would say he's not good under pressure. I think there's years and there's a whole career of evidence of it.
There's a difference between under pressure and against the blitz. I guess that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, Goff against the blitz is
what I meant.
Pretty elite. There was this narrative that if you blitz him,
no, Goff is actually really good against the blitz. Yeah,
if he can pick it up early.
But what I was going to say is, just because Ben Johnson is gone doesn't mean the chemistry that Goff has with all these guys is gone, and it doesn't mean that they've forgotten how to run a number 1 offense. John Morton can't come in and be drastic and change everything, right? This has been the number 1 offense the last 2 years. That would be idiotic for him to come in and just completely change how things have operated.
Is there anyone under more pressure than Johnny Morton?
On the Lions?
I would say no. I would say Johnny Morton has more pressure on him than anybody.
No, I go Goff still. The way that playoff game went with the new offensive coordinator and the contract kicking in next year, I would say Goff. But Morton's, he's right up there. I would agree, especially replacing. If Ben Johnson is successful in Chicago off the rip, then maybe Morton is under more pressure.
All right, let's play out a hypothetical. Jared Goff doesn't look great for the first couple of weeks. Are people gunning at Goff's head? Or are people saying, we know what Jared Goff is at this point in his career. This is a Johnny Morton thing for not being able to, get the best out of him.
I think it all does depend on how Jared Goff isn't bad. Or isn't good, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's just throwing a ton of picks, how is that John Morton's fault? I think that's a little bit different in turning the ball over. Now, if it's about the blitz and the offense clearly looks different, I still think it's always going to be on the quarterback over the coordinator if the QB's playing poor. But it's probably going to be on both of them if Jared Goff looks bad.
989-837. Lions fans turning on Jared Goff would be one of the crazier things ever.
I still think in the back of Lions fans' head it's there. I think the second it goes down, we saw a lot of it happen after that playoff game with Washington. A lot of Lions fans were exposed, but they showed their true colors about how they feel about Jared Goff after one of the worst games of his career as a Lion.
Whether you like it or not, and I know we all know the story at this point, but when one of the 2 best coaches in the NFL and Sean McVay just kind of disposes of a quarterback, it's pretty hard to just completely erase that from your memory. Just saying.
Sure.
989-837-6125. Trip around the league when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Looking for the perfect golf getaway? Tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's hidden gem. Whether you're a scratch golfer or just out for fun, Sandy Ridge offers a beautifully maintained 18-hole course, friendly staff, and unbeatable rates.
plus a brand new clubhouse. Book your tee time today at sandyridgegolfcourse.com or call 989-631-6010. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, where great golf meets pure Michigan beauty.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Car to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, if you agree with anything I just said.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show, I guess. That was weird. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a trip around the league. First, I'll read a comment from Chris, who says, let's be honest, the Lions O-line can weather the retirement, guys, whether it's Tate or whoever. The Eagles were just fine after Kelsey retired. They won a Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, let's do around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Okay, Ben, we got a fun one today. Obviously, we know that training camp is going on in the NFL right now. So we're going to talk about some training camp, like, storylines, I guess you could say, to go through.
All right.
Does that sound fun?
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So, NFL training camp storylines to watch. This is from The Athletic. So how we're going to do this is they kind of group these into a bunch of different topics or whatever. So we're going to kind of go through the groups, and you give me which team is kind of the most interesting storyline to look at.
All right.
Is that fair?
Sure, man.
All right. Hey, why don't you scooch over to your left a little bit? The NFL logo is kind of blocking your whole entire body
This
at
way?
the moment. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. How about quarterback competitions, Ben? We got a few of those going on in the NFL.
Do we?
Right now. The Cleveland Browns. Who's starting at quarterback for them? The New York Giants. I mean, is it Russell Wilson? Is it Jackson Dart? Hey, Jameis Winston, he's there.
It's definitely Russell Wilson.
The Indianapolis Colts, they have an interesting quarterback situation going on because Anthony Richardson was drafted in the top 5 just 2 years ago, but he might get benched for Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, even the Saints. I don't know who's starting for them. So what's the biggest quarterback competition storyline to watch, according to you?
The most interesting one to me is definitely the Colts. I think Russell Wilson is going to start week 1 for the Giants. I'd be pretty shocked if that didn't happen. The Browns situation is such a dumpster fire that I like it, throwing darts trying to figure out who's going to be starting for them week 1. No idea. Nor do I really care, for that matter. They're all bad options.
Why don't you care?
Because they all suck. None of them are like get me excited. There's not a quarterback there that I'm like intrigued by.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was the other one you said? Oh, the Saints one, same thing. None of those guys intrigue me whatsoever. But the Colts situation is somewhat interesting because it's like, are they just willing to wave the white flag on Anthony Richardson going into the season, and he's just sitting on the bench? He had the injury to his shoulder once again in the spring.
This is also the same coaching staff and front office that drafted him, which I think is very concerning if he doesn't start the year.
Correct. That makes me think his career is basically over. And I don't see him having the same career arc as like the Sam Darnold, Baker. Like that kind of just seems over if he can't go again this year. So I would say the Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones combo is the most interesting QB battle going into camp because he's healthy now. He tore up his shoulder in OTAs, and there's a report last week that he was totally healthy. So this does feel like a true quarterback battle.
Yeah, I would say so too. Especially, I mean, if he doesn't start the season as the starter, I feel like it's
over.
The fact that it's even a conversation, I think it almost makes you feel like it's over, right?
Yeah, 100%. And
just
honestly,
in his third year, I mean, it'd be different if you say he's the starter, but you keep him on a super short leash.
But even if he does end up starting week 1, doesn't it feel like he's inevitably getting benched if he doesn't blow us out of the water
you're right
honestly.
away? I have
It's
Daniel
kinda
Jones
sad.
in a couple 2 QB leagues. Kind of a sneaky guy to have on the roster right now. He's decent in fantasy. He's decent in fantasy.
Guess.
I'm not great in real life, obviously, but
He doesn't really have lights out weapons though. Like Tyler Warren's, you're hoping is their best weapon offensively.
they have some younger receivers that I think are going to kind of take over Michael Pittman.
Maybe. I don't know. There's not a ton of pass catchers over there other than Tyler Warren. They get me
I'm
going.
high on Adonai Mitchell. I think he's going to have a good year too. But we'll see.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next category. And I think this is probably the most intriguing category because it is every year. And that's rookie head coaches. Obviously a ton of them every single season. There's always at least one that really pops off. Last year, I mean, it doesn't really count, but like Dan Quinn was first-year head coach. Wasn't a rookie head coach, so I guess that's different.
Well, let me ask you, does Mike Vrabel count?
I guess in this, they're strictly doing guys that have never been head coaches. So Mike Vrabel does not count.
Then it's Ben Johnson, right? Is there even a second option?
You're not even let me going to run through them here?
Run through them. I'm probably going to say Ben Johnson.
What about the other Lions coordinator turned first-time head coach, Aaron Glenn with the New York Jets, who have been a terrible franchise, to put it bluntly, over the last so many years, longest playoff drought in the NFL. And no one's been able to really turn them around. Liam Cohen, Duval in Jacksonville, wide open division. Your boy Travis Hunter's there, taking over for Doug Peterson. I think that's a good one. And then honestly, the one that isn't like the big pick, but it's just because like the fact that the Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer to be their head coach.
Forgot about that.
I think is quite interesting. But yes, Ben Johnson is probably the answer you go to.
Yeah, it's got to be Ben Johnson, and this is a totally biased answer. But come on, it's an offensive coordinator who's considered the best play caller in the league for the last 3 seasons. Probably you can maybe even go further than that. Who wasn't a head coach? He gets the job in the same division, in another city that's had a terribly run organization for the past decade. One of the biggest markets there is in football. I know you can say the same thing about New York, but I don't know. I think the floor is there for Ben Johnson to go do something with, and there's a ceiling there too that could be pretty high. So yeah, it's Ben Johnson here. I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's definitely Ben Johnson. Worth noting, Kellen Moore as well, another rookie head coach with the New Orleans Saints, who are probably going to be the worst team in the league.
I would be shocked if they were not.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, next group here, and I'll run through. This is a different kind of one, so I'll give you the options. More familiar faces in new places. This can be players or coaches, so we're going to run through the ones that they have listed here. First off, Pete Carroll returning to the Las Vegas Raiders. Interesting one for sure. Obviously a big-time familiar face in a new place. How about Sam Darnold getting that 3-year, $100 million contract from the Seahawks when it really seemed like Minnesota wanted to bring Darnold back? They don't, and he ends up in Seattle. And then their third option here, well, I guess they have a few other ones. Devontae Adams going to the Rams to kind of replace Cooper Kupp. First time in his career to be the 1B receiver, maybe when he was like a rookie in Green Bay. And then the big one is, well, the last big one they have on here is the two vet quarterbacks joining the New York Giants in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Where's the Mike Vrabel mention? I was waiting for that, and I was probably going to pick that.
Yeah, but that's not a familiar face in a new place, though, right?
What would that make it?
Okay, I guess
place?
they do mention Mike Vrabel in here, but it's not a new place. But we'll count it. Mike Vrabel in New England, sure.
I think my answer's probably Mike Vrabel. What was his second and third thing you said?
Sam Darnold.
No.
And Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is a pretty good one, too, because Devontae Adams probably shouldn't be your number one guy going forward, but if he can be your number two guy and you got a lights-out quarterback, top 10 quarterback.
He's still very good, yeah.
All of a sudden, the Rams are looking like a team that, for a second, it looked like they were going to tear it down and rip this thing to the studs this offseason. And now I look around the NFC, and it's hard to point at three teams that are better than the Los Angeles Rams.
Pretty happy they didn't tear it down, honestly.
Yeah, I think
for their sake.
I think the Rams are going to be pretty fascinating this season if everyone can stay healthy. That's just going to be the thing, because all three of those guys, well, they're big three on offense. Stafford's obviously aging, has always had a little bit of injury concerns. Devontae Adams is kind of up there, and then Puka plays like he wants to get injured for a receiver. So, yeah,
What a big Puka guy you are, I've noticed.
It's not that I don't like Puka's game, but it's just
it kind of seems like you really specifically don't like Puka's game.
It's a lot of Debo, and I just feel like this is going to, at some point, hit a wall pretty hard the same way it did with Debo in terms of the physical.
I think he's much more talented than Debo, though, as a pass catcher.
He's just an evolved version of him, though. He plays so aggressively and is seeking contact at all times that I think eventually, that's a guy who, it just won't surprise me based on his play style and physicality. He's a guy who once a year is dealing with a pretty significant injury that keeps him out for a few weeks, and also just over the course of 5 years, it's just going to wear and tear on your body. That's all I'm saying. It's not that I don't like him. I would just be hesitant to, draft him in a dynasty or sleeper, or give him this massive contract, which they're inevitably going to do. But yeah, I think the Rams are interesting, especially considering Jared Verse is probably going to jump into, maybe not DPOY player candidate, but one of the better defensive players in the NFL here in year number 2.
Already crept up into a top 10 edge rusher talk.
So yeah, I think I'm going to choose the Rams on that. Mike Vrabel and the Patriots also somewhat fascinating heading into the year.
I would agree. Two more things here. We're going to skip one of them because it's about Aaron Rodgers. We don't. What is there more to talk about with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers? You got anything? How this is probably his last season and the Steelers are going all in?
Nope.
Yeah. I got nothing either.
POS.
Okay. The question they end this article with: can the Eagles defend their Super Bowl win? And I guess I just kind of want to phrase this to you: are they for sure the favorite out of the NFC right now?
Going into the year, yes. But I don't know if they'd necessarily be my pick to win the NFC. But going into the year, how could they not be? They have all the same players brought back. They have the same core. It's not like they lost anybody. So yeah, I think the Eagles should be the favorites going into the season. Champions until proven otherwise, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, especially it's probably They beat the Commanders, who were probably the lone other team you could pick right now. I mean, I know the Lions as well.
You can pick the Lions.
You could pick the Lions. I'm just saying, like, that's the team that the Eagles beat. The Rams, they also beat. So I would agree. It probably is. Defending the Super Bowl is really hard to do. We found that out, obviously. Well, the Chiefs.
I was going to say that we saw the Chiefs do it.
Right, but that was the first time in 20-some years that had happened. So having it happen twice in, like, 5 years would be kind of crazy. It for sure could happen. I want to add one more thing on here for you, and then we'll wrap up around the league. It's not in this article, but I'm adding it myself.
Okay.
First head coach on the hot seat, like to be fired, prediction-wise. You know, because you got some good options. Like, I mean, New Orleans, we talked about how bad they're going to be. They're not going to fire Kellen Moore as a first-year guy.
I wouldn't think so.
Cleveland, if they're really bad, but like, what, you're going to fire Stefanski because the roster's terrible? I don't think so. I think McDaniel in Miami.
Oh,
if
dude,
this is
easy. What are we talking about? Brian Dable.
What are the Giants supposed to be good? Like,
no, but they might not win a game this year. Look at their schedule. Look at their schedule. It's horrendous.
That's funny.
So, like, there's only so much he can do to save his job, even though the team sucks. If
I got a good one
they
for
just
you.
don't win. Zach Taylor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The Bengals get off to another slow start.
That'd be something their front office would do because it's, of course, his fault that the defense is just terrible.
Of course.
What if the 49ers get off to a really bad start? Because there was some Shanahan talk at the end of last season. Like, has Shanahan lost it, kind of? I think it'd be kind of outrageous if it happened, but I'm just tossing it out there.
They'd have to have a pretty disastrous start, and they start out with Denver, Vegas, Chargers. Oh, no, that's preseason.
I was going to say, they play the whole AFC West? That's kind of weird.
No, week 1, Seattle. Week 2, New Orleans. Week 3, Arizona. Week 4, Jacksonville. I have a hard time thinking they...
That's 2-2 at worst. Yeah.
And I mean, if you do have a bad start with that... But then it gets pretty tough. Week 5, the Rams. Week 6, the Bucks. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a shocker. That's all I'm saying. All right, that's it for round.
All right, you heard it first. 989-837-6125. We'll keep things rolling here on the Ben Bosscher Show. It is well into the summer, by the way. There's not a whole lot of weekends left, as sad as that is. And Midland's go-to spot for all your gardening needs is Maple Hill Nursery. From vibrant flowers and shrubs to trees and seasonal plants, they've got your garden covered. Expert advice from local growers who care about your success as much as you do. Quality plants, quality soil, and all the tools you need to make your yard bloom. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery to get inspired and grow something beautiful this season. Find them right here in Midland, your garden's new best friend. That's Maple Hill Nursery.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. So Lions training camp is in a full go right now, and it seems that the Lions are in a different spot that they were this year as far as the perception across the NFL and from the NFL fan base. A new recent Athletic article had the Lions ranked as number 7 in the pre-training camp power rankings. The Lions were a delight to the rest of the NFL fan base last year. Every fan fell in love with them. They were on national TV a bunch, and they're one of the best teams in the regular season. Obviously, the season didn't end the way that they wanted, but it almost seems like teams have kind of given up on them as the darling of the NFL, and they've moved on to other teams with younger quarterbacks that have brighter futures, whatever. To me, I don't understand why the Lions are being counted out as much as they are across different sites from different writers and reporters. They lose both their coordinators, but Kelvin Shepard's coming from in-house. They still have all of this talent offensively. I think the Lions are still going to be one of the best teams in the NFC, even though they've taken on a different role this season across the perception of the NFL. We see this happen in phases in the NFL all the time. Teams go from being super loved to all of a sudden being the villains. And there's a good chance the Lions are moving from that hero role to villain this season, and I honestly can't wait to see them fill that role. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Allie Huntoon, the director and founder of Allied HR Solutions and Allied Group Fitness.
Lean on people I trust to help me get through things too. If I know that I'm overwhelmed or I need support with something, I usually try to reach out. Sometimes I'm still trying to do things all myself, and that's a learning curve too. Delegation is your friend. I'm learning that.
Something I definitely.
So I think it's leaning on your team. I think it's putting things into perspective. Even though HR is very important, and we have things all the time that come up with terminations or discrimination or harassment.
Listen to the full interview with Allie on YouTube on 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford. From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Just wanted to update everyone on that person who reached out to us asking for us to watch their dogs. I did reply and said, hi, this is a sports radio station. I believe you have the wrong number. And they replied, I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me know.
Oh.
I feel like I need a follow-up text. We should just keep this going forever.
Say, like, hey, I'd totally be willing to watch your dogs, though, if you... No, don't say that.
Why not?
Well, are you actually willing to watch the dogs? Don't get the... What if they're, like, actually like, oh, seriously, you will? And they're just like, nah, this was all for a radio bid, actually.
Too late. I already sent it.
What?
But I'd be willing to watch the dogs. I like dogs. Dogs are cool. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Keep the people updated. I know everyone's just dying to hear what happens.
For real.
It's keeping everyone on the edge of their
get
seat.
So many texts about that. Hey, speaking of texts, we got to react to Chris in the YouTube chat based off that last segment on the Around the League. He had a lot to say about the Around the League segment there. He's not in on the McVay stuff that you talked about. And I think that was something worth discussing, right? He says, come on now, Ben. That ship has sailed with McVay and Goff. Jared is an established franchise QB in Detroit now. We're way past any Sean shipped damaged goods out of L.A. nonsense. I agree because Goff is just a different quarterback than he was then. Right? I mean, there's no debating that.
Yeah, he's a different quarterback than he was then, but there are still some things where it's like, wait, this franchise decided to move off of him, and then they won a Super Bowl when they did. It just lingers, man. That's all I'm saying. I think the Lions can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, but if they get through another playoff run and it's like, oh my God, this guy was a disaster again.
Let me ask you this: if they don't go to the Super Bowl this year, do you still have that same thought?
I got to see how this year plays out. I don't want to be like clickbaity headline like, oh, they can't win it with Jared. Like, I got to see this year play out before I decide if
I'm telling
Jared
you,
Goff
this year
can be the
plays out
quarterback.
and they don't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, but I got to see how it plays out. Like, I'm not trying to be a results-based
What does that even
person.
mean?
Because I don't want to be a results-based sports host. I want to see the game play out, like how the game goes down. You know what I'm like?
Right,
how
yeah.
Jared Goff plays,
How it goes
how
down.
the offense operates before I decide whether or not Jared Goff can win a Super Bowl with Detroit.
I don't
you
think
can't
that
just
matters.
play the final box score.
I don't think that matters because Goff had an incredible year last season, and then it all fell apart in that final playoff game, and everyone has kind of forgotten about the good year that he had. Right?
No, I don't think so because I still hear some people like, oh, Jared Goff MVP, it's not that crazy. And I'm like, no, that's actually insane. That's never going to happen. Ever. I don't know. I still feel like there's a portion of the Lions fans that really like that do the Jared Goff chants that just think this guy's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league, which I think is just kind of crazy. I think we can be real about the situation of he is a tier 3 quarterback when everything's around him. That's awesome. This is a team that can win a Super Bowl and he can lead them there and his stats can look awesome, but he's not necessarily. Yeah, I guess he can make guys around him better, but my issue is always going to be when things start to break down and you're playing these awesome defensive fronts and he's under pressure, can't really extend the play and problem solve from that point forward. He's a very on-script quarterback. And he's good at getting to his 4th and 5th reads and processing from there. But, when stuff starts to break down and he's got to, where most other quarterbacks, 95% of other quarterbacks in the NFL can, buy themselves some time and just let their playmakers get open. That's not really something that happens in Detroit's offense. And without a Ben Johnson, I guess, that's also another area of concern.
Yeah, I think this is the year that and I know we keep repeating this, but this is the year we find out the most about who Jared Goff, for sure is. Because of the offensive line concerns this season, because of Ben Johnson being gone. He still has a ton of good weapons and everything, but I think this is an important year for the sake of how we view this Jared Goff contract going forward.
989-837-6125. We did get a live update on the Alex Anzalone contract just now.
Really? A little breaking news?
Kinda, not really. Colin Pouncey of The Athletic, one of the Lions beat reporters, said Alex Anzalone just spoke, said he wants to retire a Lion. Deferred contract questions to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, said he expressed his desire for an extension long ago. Clearly frustrated it's dragged out this long, but wants to be around the team in the meantime. To me, that says I want to be here, but...
Pay me, yeah.
Yeah, pay me.
Him saying I want to retire a Lion is not news. Of course he wants to be here.
But I think he wants them to want him to be there.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
like one of those things.
Hey, I want to be here the rest of my career. So do you, right?
Right?
Right, guys?
Right, guys? It's like one of those things. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, you get it. Yeah, for sure.
So he's at training camp today, though, just still not participating, correct?
Yeah, same as yesterday.
Because of this hamstring thing.
Right, wink, wink. Hamstring issue, wink, wink.
Right, yes.
Yeah, this is like you just want to be told that you're loved, You just want to hear it from the other person. You want some some reassurance that they are just as much in it as you are.
It's like when you say I love you to your girl you've been talking to for like a month, like way too early, and you're like, you love me too, right?
Right?
Right? Like,
except they've been dating for 4 years in this situation. No, because Anzalone's been here for 4 years.
Okay, yes, you're right. Yeah,
and it's like, wait, you still haven't said it? Even though they kind of said it a little bit ago because they gave him a mini extension, but they didn't want to go all in and be like, no, I love you and want to spend the rest of my life with you. They've said I love you to Alex Anzalone.
Yeah, this isn't the I love you. This is like the
proposal.
This is the proposal. Yes, exactly. Like you've been with your girl for like 6 years, and your boys come up to you and you're like, so when's the engagement? And you're like, oh, I haven't proposed yet. And all your boys are like, you haven't proposed yet?
Yeah.
And then it hits you like, wait, should I?
No, yeah, that's exactly what this is like actually.
Okay.
To
sorry.
a T.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's good. 989-837-6125. 6125. Oh, man. The Alex Anzalone situation is feeding families right now on the content side of things. We'll jump into that in the 10 o'clock hour, or the 11 o'clock hour. More Tigers to come. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on Facebook, live on YouTube as well. Please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button to help push this content out to everyone else in this great state of Michigan if you so enjoy this program. So with that being said, let's recircle back to how we kicked off the show with this entire Detroit Tigers situation to where they have lost 7 of their last 8 games. And the rest of the American League is rapidly catching up with this Detroit Tigers team. Toronto and Houston are both within 1.5 games of reclaiming that 1 seed. And the Tigers are in a comfortable spot in terms of the AL Central, but if they were putting out odds of who's going to land that number 1 seed, and again, the top 2 seeds all get that first round bye, but the one team gets the home field advantage the entire course of the playoffs, obviously important with Comerica Park, but I don't know, what would you put that at, Kyle, right now? Like minus even odds? Plus 120?
Say that again?
Odds at the line that the Tigers can get the 1 seed, plus 110? Ooh. It doesn't feel like it's a huge minus anymore with all these teams knocking on the door and so much baseball left to be played. The flaws of the Tigers I think have really shown pretty bright here.
I would say they still have the best odds because they easily are going to win their division.
They can have the best odds. I don't think it's like minus odds anymore, though. They've scored 3 runs since the All-Star break has ended. That's ugly stuff, man. That's ugly stuff.
It's gross, and I know almost.
They went against a tough Rangers pitching staff and Paul Skeens, but 3 runs over the course of 4 games is just unacceptable if you want to consider yourself a World Series team. And every team goes into a little bit of a lull at some point in the season. But the Tigers are 20-20 in their last 40 games. This isn't some sort of little losing skid. They've played 500 baseball now for 40 games. And I think it's not necessarily the worst thing because it's showing Scott Harris, hey, here's everything that the Tigers need at the deadline. And maybe that list of needs is a little bit longer than we initially anticipated. So I put together a little wish list of what the Tigers and who the Tigers should be going after at this year's deadline. Sorry, hit the mic again. The wish list consists of Gino Suarez, David Bednar, Sandy Alcantara, former Cy Young winner, Zach Gallen, and Ryan Helsley. If the Tigers can add 2 of those guys, I think I'd be pretty happy. And if they can land Gino Suarez, that, like, to me is a home run. You finally went all in and were aggressive and showed that you are actually a big market team that wants to contend. Because I don't know, the last decade, the Tigers have not been a big market team. They just simply haven't. They lack the spending, they lack the aggression, and they haven't been good enough to be aggressive here at the deadline. This is going to be the first time the Tigers are big buyers at the deadline since the David Price deal.
Or just buyers in general.
Right. I wonder if they want to not get irresponsible, but act as if this is their best chance right off the rip to win a World Series, because that's what I would be doing.
With Tarek Skubal, I would agree.
That's kind of where I was going with this. Here's what's guaranteed. You've got 1.5 years left of Tarek Skubal. And whether you guys want to admit it or not, Tarek Skubal re-signing with the Tigers is up in the air. I hope he's back. I think there's a chance he's back. But for me to sit here and say he's going to be back would be a lie. I don't know that. And I don't think anybody knows where Tarek Skubal is going to be pitching 3 years from now. What you do know is the next 1.5 years, he's pitching in a Tigers uniform. So why would you not be ultra aggressive at this year's deadline and next year's, but this year specifically, just because it's right here, in order to maximize your chances to win a World Series and treat this as, hey, this is it. Like, we're all in right now. This window presented itself. I don't even like the word window, but this opportunity presented itself a lot faster than maybe we initially thought from where we were a year ago today. Obviously, 20 games over 500 is much better than we were a year ago today, so there's a lot of improvement there. But don't take it for granted that this is just going to be the new normal. It's an opportunity now to improve the team that's already the number 1 team in baseball, in the American League at least, that definitely has flaws. And one of those flaws is the bottom of the lineup right now is just not providing anything offensively. Parker Meadows, Trey Sweeney, Matt Vierling, all in the lineup yesterday. Those 3 guys combined, not combined, but collectively are a 201 average. That's just not very good for 3 guys at the bottom of your lineup. That's obviously an entire third of the lineup that is basically hitting at the Mendoza line. So if you've got a chance to add a guy, not only to improve that, but a guy who'd be the new best bat on your team in Gino Suarez, 36 home runs, value is skyrocketing because of how hot he is in July, over an 1,100 OPS. You got to take it. He's already openly said he wants to come play in Detroit. Full circle moment because he was signed here as a free agent in 2008 and came through the farm system then. Seattle's another team he played for that is going to be in the market for trying to get him too. So a couple different reunions in the American League potentially on the table. The Tigers cannot and should not allow the Yankees or Mariners to step in and close that gap between them and the rest of the American League. You add Suarez to this lineup, who's already the number 1 team in baseball, and hey, I know they've been pretty stagnant here in July. They're 14th in July in the American League in runs scored, but they're still 3rd in runs scored across the whole season in the American League. So if you can add a guy with 36 bombs and that sort of level of bat who checks all the boxes that you wanted this offseason, right-handed bat, left side of the infield, power hitter. If you can add someone like that to the lineup, I feel pretty confidently in sitting here and saying that they're the favorites to go to the World Series. They already are in the American League. But if you had a guy like Suarez to your lineup who would instantly be the best bat on this team, come on, what are we talking about? Why let that opportunity slide by? For anyone to say that the Tigers don't need Suarez or don't need to go get him, I think that's a little bit naive and too much bought into the guys that you have in front of your plate or have on your plate right now. There's nothing wrong with, there's nothing wrong with all the guys in the lineup right now, but if you have a chance to add on to it and add on a pretty elite player in Suarez, what's the point of not doing it, right? Don't let the opportunity pass by without taking advantage of it is where I stand on this.
Well, and I do, to your point about the bottom of the lineup, yes, I agree that, you should never say no to adding talent to your offense. That should never be the case. But every team has, 2 or 3 guys in their lineup that are just below average hitters, right? I mean, even the Dodgers last year, and they're in the World Series, the bottom 3 of their lineup of Tommy Edman, Kike Hernandez, and Max Muncy, all 700 OPS or lower guys on the season. It is just a thing that happens. But where I want to go with this is what level are you at as far as happiness wise, or you're just cool with for the trade deadline? What if they don't go get any offense? Because for a while we talked about how they don't really need to add a guy in offense. Now obviously the 3 runs in 4 games probably changes your mind on that. But what if they do just go add 1 or 2 pretty solid bullpen guys and a starter? They for sure address the entire pitching staff, but they don't go anywhere with the bats. They're just we're bringing Kerry Carpenter back. We're cool with the guys that we have in that spot. Where's your satisfaction level if that's the case?
Where does Suarez end up?
Somewhere in the American League, because I assume that's where he ends up. Okay, but what if he ends up in Chicago then? Is it then it's okay?
With the Cubs?
Yeah. Well, no, the White Sox.
Yeah, the buying White Sox.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But if he ends up
somewhere else, I mean, he probably gets traded to an American League team.
I don't think that's a guarantee.
I would think Chicago's the lone National League team he could go to.
Brewers, Giants.
Brewers are not buying. There's no way. Giants potentially, but they don't need a third baseman.
No. If he ends up in Seattle or New York, it's just going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Now, if they really are aggressive and give up, some real assets in the farm system to go bulk up the bullpen and get another starter, I'll be content with it. As long as it's not we barely gave up anything. They have to actually show us that they're willing to give up some prospects to go get top end players that are available at the deadline. Don't settle for the bottom, the worst guys that end up getting moved. Right? Flaherty was the top guy that got moved at last year's deadline for the pitching staff. Go get one of those guys if you're not going to go get a bat. There's no reason to not go get one of the top players at a certain position, whether it's relief pitchers, starting pitcher, or a bat. Go get the best guy available. Don't be settling at this point in time. 989-837-6125. That's the number to get a hold of us here. Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. If you are looking to move, meet Matt Smith of Modern Realty. Redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth as possible. From cozy starter homes, luxury properties, they know how to find the perfect fit for you. Trust a team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith of Modern Realty. The Tuesday Tower. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Great Lakes return from the All-Star break this weekend, going undefeated. Just 2 games, though, as the game on Sunday was canceled. Friday and Saturday, Loons winners over Dayton. One big-time homer put out this weekend by guess who? Cam Decker went deep once again, his 4th homer in just 15 games with Great Lakes. And here's how it sounded on Saturday night. In the 1-0. Decker swings, rips it out to deep left field. Moving back is Stefan, and all he can do is watch it fly. Another Decker dinger. Back-to-back games for him. He did it on Sunday. Took some days off during the week. Crushes that one. 4-1 Loons. Loons are back at Dow Diamond to start a 6-game home series with Beloit on Tuesday. First pitch at 7:05. Pregame coverage at 6:50 here on the Mitt.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
If you served, we want you to get the health care and benefits you earned. We want you to come to VA.
There's never been a better time to apply. Under a new law called the PACT Act, we've expanded VA care and benefits to millions of people who served and their survivors.
No matter where you served or how long you served, check out va.gov/PACT to learn more about what VA can do for you and your family.
Come to VA.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time for the Tuesday Tower, a tradition that we kind of parted ways with for a couple of weeks there, but we're bringing it back today. I've got a pyramid, 4 levels, 4-level pyramid.
Wait, how many levels?
4 levels of this pyramid.
We're confident.
I'm looking at it right now.
Got
4
it.
levels of the pyramid. Thanks. These are the bats on the Detroit Tigers, the position players. But I try to not take defense into consideration too much. Just different position versatility, importance to the winning, whatever. It's mostly just the bats. So number 1 player I have is the face of the franchise, and that is Riley Green. Right, everything we've ever wanted. In Riley Green, he has produced other than the strikeouts, which I just refuse to believe is here to stay, maybe for this season. But, hey, Judge led the league in strikeouts 1 year, and look where he's at now. The second pillar is actually called the lineup pillars, and that would be Gleyber Torres and Spencer Torkelson. What a way Spencer Torkelson has come from almost not making the roster. In fact, I don't think he would have made the roster if it wasn't for a ton of injuries. That was in the second tier of our pyramid. Right-handed bat, crushes lefties. Even against Skeens yesterday, had a nice game even with just the one hit. Had some nice contacts that ended up getting. He lined out even though he made pretty good contact with Skeens. So Spencer Torkelson, Gleyber Torres, I think consistently are the guys that you need in the lineup. I almost named this tier that if they get hurt, Detroit is in trouble tier. But then Riley Green should have probably been in that too, along with a couple other guys. So I ended up going with just lineup pillars. Trusted producers, that's Zach McKinstry, Colt Keith, and Kerry Carpenter. And then role players who are imperfect. Javi Baez, Wenzel Perez, Dylan Dingler, and Parker Meadows. What sticks out?
First thing, would you say I slide into the trusted producers category? Or
yeah, no, you're actually a lineup pillar.
How about Brad with the day he filled in? Was he trusted producer?
No. He's a role player who is imperfect.
Oh, no. That's rough. Okay, sorry for the side task.
No, that was good. That was good.
Look.
You're a lineup pillar, Kyle.
Now, face of the city, we've had this talk for so long about, who's the face of the city of the Tigers. Strictly offensively, no debate, Riley Green, you got it, 100%. Lineup pillars is interesting. Torkelson I almost think can't be with Torres.
Then who would be?
I think I'd slot Colt Keith up in that slot.
Colt Keith, who's 1 for 18 his last 18 at bats.
Okay,
that
we could do that for anybody. We could find a Torkelson time period this season that fit that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying from the fact of like the way AJ Hinch operates with his righty-lefty stuff, I think Colt Keith has become like the go-to leadoff hitter every time against a right-handed pitcher, which obviously you face more often than lefties.
Sure.
Not saying that, like, I don't know if he's better than Torkelson, but if we're going off of the lineup pillars thing, I think Colt Keith is a lineup pillar.
And Torkelson's okay. Here's where I disagree with you. Though.
I guess I don't know.
I agree with you though that like the role for Colt Keith of being that leadoff guy against the right-handed pitching is there for him and important. Torkelson's in the lineup every day, regardless of if there's a righty or lefty on the mound, unless he has a day off. He has to be there. He's a constant threat to go yard. You know?
You're right.
He plays more than Colt Keith.
He
for
does,
sure.
and like Colt Keith does rest against lefties from time to time. He still will bat against lefties, but yeah, you're probably right. I was just trying to make the case for Colt Keith, but like thinking about it more and more, Torkelson probably is in that spot. I just felt like having the two righties with the amount of lefties in this lineup, it felt a little weird, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason I almost wanted to put Wenzel Perez in over Kerry Carpenter.
And that was where that's where I was going to go next. Trusted producers, Kerry Carpenter being in there this season, I understand last year you have the emotional attachment to him for the playoff series. The biggest hit I've seen a Tiger have since I've been an adult. But this season, he has definitely not been a trusted producer. Is that fair? Even against the guys he's supposed to mash against, he hasn't been a trusted producer consistently. Wenzel Perez has been a trusted producer everywhere.
Slow month, but yeah, still crushes left-handed pitching.
And still has been a solid defender and still like isn't a guy you put on the bench against righties. You know?
I do. He should be an everyday lineup guy.
Whereas Kerry Carpenter is not.
I guess Kerry Carpenter for me just gets the slight benefit of the doubt dealing with this hamstring injury. But if he returns and isn't much better than he was, those last 2 months he was up with the Tigers, then yeah, I think Wenzel Perez actually does take the Kerry Carpenter spot. Because the part that's kind of scary about Kerry Carpenter is at 27 years old, are we ever really anticipating him growing a game to where he's hitting left-handed pitching consistently? I would say no. I don't think I ever am going to expect him to hit left-handed pitching in a Tigers uniform. Is that fair?
No, you're right. I mean, there's no reason to suggest that will happen just because of how A.J. Hinch just handled Kerry Carpenter.
Javier Baez, not in the trusted producers category, I think is also somewhat noteworthy because he has games like he did a couple days ago where he still is just has some of the worst at-bats you'll possibly see. That's why it's like, I know he's come through a ton this season.
Yeah, and his numbers on the season-wise on a long sample size are still pretty good.
Best season he's had in Detroit. Does everything that A.J. Hinch asks him for. I think I just trust those other guys more. Like, I just trust Zach McKinstry, Colt Keith, Kerry Carpenter to stay level-headed in the box a little bit more. Maybe he can take over the Kerry spot. Like, the Wenzel, Javi, Kerry trio, I think all of those guys have at least an argument to take that last spot in the trusted producers spot on the pyramid, but I ended up going with Kerry, and maybe that's an emotional attachment. It definitely could be.
What about Dylan Dingler, though? Does he get any interest on the trusted producers now that he's officially taken the Jake Rogers spot?
I thought about it. His actual numbers on the season, though, aren't as eye-popping as you'd think they were. Now, for a catcher, they're awesome, right? But in terms of just like raw numbers, again, this is supposed to be offense only, defense not really taken into consideration. It's not as good as all the other guys. It's not as good as anybody we just named.
Yeah.
So Dylan Dingler to me is still in that tier below. Trey Sweeney not on this. Matt Vierling not on this. Don't even make the pyramid.
Parker Meadows on here, though.
He brings enough on the base paths if he actually gets onto the base paths. That seems to be a challenge for him right now, though. Getting on base is a pretty big struggle for Parker Meadows so far this month.
Who's the first guy off the list?
It'd have to be Matt Vierling.
Matt Vierling, yeah.
Just because of the versatility he brings. But I don't know. career 700 OPS. It's like, okay, we probably just know what Matt Vierling is at this point. Not really jumping off the screen anytime soon and expecting him to do anything differently. I built the pyramid last night. I debated a long time between that trio of Carey, Perez, and Baez, and ended up going with Carrot Carpenter. Maybe out of sight, out of mind type of thing. And if he were to have not gotten hurt on July 2nd and been playing and just kept doing what he was doing, I would say Wencel Perez is probably on that third spot on the pyramid, or on that third tier rather than the fourth, and Carey's on the fourth. But out of sight, you kind of just forget the down year that Carey's having, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, hopefully when he comes back, like I said, I bought Carey stock the other day, so I feel confident in him to return and be what he was a little bit more of last year and get out of this slump that he was in going into the injured list. But just based on what we've seen this year, it's hard to put him in that top category.
989-837-6125. When we come back, we'll hit the news and, of course, our two traditions to close out every show. It is our lock of the day and, of course, our prediction on Colin Cowherd's Open. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle. The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Nine 837-612-5. Welcome back in. It is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. 11 o'clock hour well underway. Let's see what's going on in the sports world. It's time to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okie dokie. Let's get back into the news, Benjamin.
All right.
We don't have a ton of more stuff that we had from earlier, but we do have some slight Pistons news, I guess you could call it. Amanda Nassar Thompson on the new cover of the Slam magazine. Attack of the Clones, it says, for the two twins.
I might have to. Are the Cade ones still for sale? Because that one with the Cade and the new jerseys for next season are so awesome. That shirt.
I don't
is so
know if
cool.
it is.
I might have to find a way to get that one and the Asar one.
I have the old Cade one from when in the red jerseys. I have that one. I have a few like old Slam magazine tees. I just love the t-shirt ones, dude. They are like my favorite.
They're pretty good, and with how much I love Asar, I feel like I gotta go get.
I
this
love
Asar
Amends
one.
like because they have the solo ones too with each of them, but the one with both of them is just
Attack of the Clones.
I will purchase it by the end of the day today.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I just need to figure out which one I want to get. So yeah, very cool for those guys to be on the Slam cover.
Man, the Pistons have had 3 Slam covers.
2 Cade and then this one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta see if they have that old Cade one still too, because that I might have to cop both. I might drop a bag on Slam magazine today.
We about to be twinning at work next week.
For real, dude.
Twinning them.
We're already twin though,
Right.
Let's talk about some NFL training camp contract situations. This guy just can't seem to stay out of the news this summer, Ben. Trey Hendrickson not showing up to the Bengals camp. He backed his word. He said he was going to sit out without a new contract. Currently, he is. We'll see how long it potentially lasts. But obviously a major hit to a Bengals defense that already sucked last year, and he led the league in sacks.
What is the most likely outcome with this situation?
I've been trying to think about that, honestly.
If someone wanted to trade for him, they would have done it by now.
Right.
So I think the Bengals are left no other choice.
But to pay him?
I was going to say lower what they're asking for him. If you're not going to pay him, then you got to just take whatever, like the second round pick or a third round pick.
Somebody's got to be willing to pay him, right?
Well,
somebody.
They're not going to get a first. That's 5 short.
It's gone. Yes, 5 short, yes.
What do you think it is at this point? A third?
A third is crazy, man. I mean, I
for
understand.
A guy who's led the league in sacks
but
the last 2 years?
You have to pay him, obviously, which that plays into it, of course.
Who's a team
third, though, is wild.
Who's a team that's kind of up and coming on a rookie contract? Like, why are the Commanders not all over this?
Because the Commanders already went and paid a bunch of other guys.
But not any, like...
Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah.
They have to pay Terry McLaurin. They can't afford to get another guy like this.
What about a team like... I'm just trying to think of more teams on a rookie contract.
Like quarterbacks,
like Patriots? Is the Patriots a crazy...
Patriots is sneaky. I think it just depends on what they're trying to do, you know? Like, are they really trying to compete right now and pay Trey Hendrickson that big of a contract? They also spent a ton of money this offseason. You know, Milton Williams' deal is really big.
I was just going to say, why don't you just throw those two guys together on the defensive line, take advantage of the rookie quarterback, and because, like, okay, you talk about, like, are they trying to win? No NFL team goes into the year trying to lose. It's just not a thing.
No, I get what you're saying.
So, like,
I don't know. I think
the Saints might be trying to lose.
Say the Jets, low-key, might have an argument for that, too, year by year.
I wouldn't be, yeah, if I was a team like the Patriots, any team with a rookie quarterback contract, I'd be taking a swing on this. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think that he probably ends up getting traded, but I don't know. I don't necessarily know.
If he shows up and you're like, here's a 3-year deal, I know it's not what you wanted. It's not the $45 million or $40 million a year that you probably want, but if here's 3 years for $90 million, he's going to sign that.
Yeah. We got some just now, like, breaking NFL news, I guess.
Oh.
It's not really that big. But Will Johnson has signed his rookie contract with the Arizona Cardinals, becoming the final, the second to last second-round pick to get signed. And there's only 2 of the 257 draft picks that have now not signed yet. Any guess on who both of those are, Ben?
Well, one of them Shamar Stewart for the Bengals.
One of them is Shamar Stewart. The other one's a second-rounder, and it makes a ton of sense once you hear who it is. In the news.
Is it
recently for some bad guy stuff?
Who?
It's Quinshad Judkins.
Yes. I should have known. Judkins,
Bad guy,
still hasn't signed.
Has not signed yet, and I don't really expect either of those guys to sign, like, super soon. But, man, this whole second-round pick stuff that happened was all just
weird.
It was all just for the headlines, too. Like,
well, they all held out.
A couple of them got more guaranteed money than they were expected to.
Right. So the first 2 guys that signed both get guaranteed contracts, fully guaranteed. Higgins from Houston, and then I don't remember the Cleveland guy who it was. But then everyone holds out, and then the Tate Ratledge shines, and I go to a Spotrac to look at it. It's like, oh, he only had 68 million, or 68% of it was only guaranteed.
Which is like a normal second-round pick.
Yeah, it's like, so what was this fuss for? And then it turns out most of the guys that held out,
they held out for like 3 days. You know, it's like, I mean, I guess that is holding out because the rookie stuff starts early, but
technically it's not holding out because they're not under contract. If that makes, because there's like they can't get fined or anything from it because they're simply not under contract.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
So
weird stuff.
It was very strange, and for nothing to really come of it, like, okay, there seems to be a new standard for some second-round picks getting some guaranteed money, but at the end of the day, when training camp started for the Lions, Tate Ratledge was like, I guess I just got to be there. It's more important for me to be there than it is for me to get the guaranteed money.
That's fair. More NFL contract news. Micah Parsons, he is at camp, even though he's got an unsettled contract situation right now, but Micah Parsons hasn't really shown that he's kind of willing to sit out. He loves playing, and he gets injured a lot, so he wants to be out there when he's healthy. I do want to ask you, though, Ben, now that TJ Watt has been signed, is there, like, still this major rush to go out and pay Aiden Hutchinson now for the Lions, still try to beat the Micah Parsons deal, or is it just a lost cause at this point?
I think you still got to beat the Micah deal, but I don't know how close that is. Like I don't have a read on that.
There's no like update on it either.
The TJ Watt thing always seems like the bigger threat to beat out Aiden Hutchinson with the contract. But the Micah Parsons one, who knows with the Cowboys, man? Who knows? You'd hope it's before the season starts. I'm sure he's hoping it's before the season starts because he's on the last year of it. So we'll see. I would love to beat out Micah Parsons with it, though. I think he has a legit case that he's more valuable than Aiden Hutchinson.
I would agree. And honestly, like, I do want to go back. I think I kind of skimmed over this with the Will Johnson stuff, obviously being from Michigan. Potentially could be one of the better second-round picks of this draft. Like, obviously fell because of the injury stuff. So if he can be healthy, like, I'm excited for Will Johnson, honestly, in a Cardinals uniform.
In, like, September and October, it was like, this is a top 5 pick, and then he falls all the way out of the first round.
And I think it was because it wasn't necessarily because he was hurt, it's because of all the question marks about his injury, right? I mean, remember when he first got hurt with Michigan, it was like, yeah, he's going to miss this week. And then he just missed the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, never came back.
It was a week-by-week thing, and it lingered all the way into the combine and into the draft. So, super weird stuff. But obviously, I'm rooting for Will Johnson. A very good player as a Wolverine. Let's talk about some Tigers news. They play Game 2 tonight, 6:40. Casey Mize versus Mitch Keller. Yeah.
Excited.
Big game. This is a huge game because, one, Mitch Keller's a guy that is looking to continue his strong play because, well, the Pirates want him to pitch good because they're probably going to trade him. But, two, Tigers scored 3 runs in 4 games. No shocker there.
Need to see some life.
Need to see something here. What do you got to see for you to not be that bad? Like one of them huge games or just like a regular game?
One of those, like get through the
13-1 games?
One of those games where they get through the entire order of the lineup in the first inning would be awesome today. Be so
that
sick.
That would be very nice. We're due for that. That's for sure. And then some more Tigers pitching news for tomorrow. They are to call up their number 10 prospect and number 3 pitching prospect, Troy Melton, to start the game on Wednesday. He will be making his MLB debut. Pitched about half the season with Erie this year, got called up to Toledo, has been doing really good in both leagues, so has a chance to make an impact at the major league level for the first time tomorrow night.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You might not have to go get a starter if he can show you. Does he get enough time for 2 starts? No, probably not. I mean, he'd have to really show you something.
He's got enough time for 2 starts before the deadline.
It's 9 days from now.
23rd.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
then pitch on like the 28th or 9th. Like,
yeah, and if he can show you some real life, it's like, all right, maybe we don't have to trade for a starter.
There's a chance
You
of
really
that.
got to believe in him, though.
But then you still like, oh, we still have Alex Cobb in the background at some
Shut
point.
up.
Right.
Stop it.
Right, guys?
No.
Last thing, some more pitcher news that is a pretty fun one. Rich Hill, 45. He's going to start for the Royals tonight. 14th MLB team he will be playing for. That is tied for the most in franchise history, tying a Tigers legend, Edwin Jackson. Is he really a Tigers legend, though, if he played for 14 teams?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I did like Edwin Jackson when he was a Tiger. That's for sure.
I've got some Alex Anzalone quotes for you.
Ooh, let's hear them.
Quote, I'm disappointed. I'll say that. I'm disappointed. This is a weird situation, and it wasn't on my end or my agent's end. Oof. Yikes. I think it's kind of obvious, I think. Production, play, the market. It's all relative, right, as far as my financial situations, but I'm in a situation where I thought about it, and for my own personal goals and what I want for the team, I didn't think it was the best scenario to not report. I mean, I'm just taking this day to day right now. I mean, we'll see. I have no clue. I put so much time here, being a 4-time captain, my teammate, my city, the city, and just living here. You can list all the reasons. It's just important to me. I feel like I love this place. I want that opportunity. No, I mean, that I can really talk about. Oh, that was Campbell quote. Okay, yeah. It sounds like he is.
He obviously wants to be there.
He seems hurt.
He does, which it's understandable. Like, all of this stuff is, I see both sides of this. Like, I don't think either side is in the wrong here.
No, because the Lions cannot afford to pay him, yet he totally deserves to be paid. Like he said, 4-time captain. The production speaks to itself. He's played like a top 10 linebacker over the course of the past 2 seasons. He has earned this contract. The Lions just can't afford to give it to him.
They're just such a tough spot. And
this is like a mess.
As much as it sucks, like, those quotes make me think, okay, the Lions need to hold out his bluff because he clearly shows that he cares about playing for the Lions. How much does he really care? You know,
I don't think it's enough to lose money.
Really? You don't think so?
I think he's going to end up suiting up.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think that his love for playing for Detroit, I think, will trump whatever is holding him back from holding out.
Well, love for playing for Detroit and, hey, you don't get the $300,000 check for this game, I think also plays a pretty big consideration too.
Now, this might linger all the way up until preseason, which I think could potentially be likely, but I think the Lions just have to continue to hold out here. It sucks, and I hate that this is finally happening to Detroit because they've been so good about staying out of the headlines with this stuff, but this is a situation that they kind of have to.
This sucks.
It does. It sucks for both sides.
Because I just don't think he's getting a contract, and he's clearly hurt by this. This is like when you know it has to end, but you don't want it to end, you know?
Tough. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I wonder if you're – never mind.
989-837-6125. We'll do our 2 traditions to close out every show when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. So Lions training camp is in a full go right now, and it seems that the Lions are in a different spot that they were this year as far as the perception across the NFL and from the NFL fan base. A new recent Athletic article had the Lions ranked as number 7 in the pre-training camp power rankings. The Lions were a delight to the rest of the NFL fan base last year. Every fan fell in love with them. They're on national TV a bunch, and they're one of the best teams in the regular season. Obviously, the season didn't end the way that they wanted, but it almost seems like teams have kind of given up on them as the darling of the NFL, and they've moved on to other teams with younger quarterbacks that have brighter futures, whatever. To me, I don't understand why the Lions are being counted out as much as they are across different sites from different writers and reporters. They lose both their coordinators, but Kelvin Shepard's coming from in-house. They still have all of this talent offensively. I think the Lions are still going to be one of the best teams in the NFC, even though they've taken on a different role this season across the perception of the NFL. We see this happen in phases in the NFL all the time. Teams go from being super loved to all of a sudden being the villains. And there's a good chance the Lions are moving from that hero role to villain this season, and I honestly can't wait to see them fill that role. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy's Silent Birdie Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite is more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer for 12 full ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
All fans on deck. It's Pontooners Weekend with the Great Lakes Loons. July 24th through 27th, presented by Sugar Springs Marine. Kick things off with our koozie giveaway and beer run on Thursday, with Yacht Rock on Friday. Saturday brings a bucket hat giveaway and a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. The weekend wraps up with Super Splash Sunday and Meet the Team Day. For tickets, visit loons.com. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). It's time for our 2 traditions to close out every single show. The first of those being the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
We might have to change the name of this segment, honestly. Something.
Well, there is a lock of the day.
It's just whatever
It's just don't do whatever Ben does.
Yeah.
That's the lock of the day, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right, guys?
Yeah. O'Neal Cruz went 0 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, didn't get on base once.
Yep.
Which means we are now down 9.8 units.
Oh, you wish. Oh, you wish it was that little. Nearly 12 units down. 11.88 units to be precise. 9-23-1 record, Ben. You have yet to eclipse double-digit wins.
Yep.
And this is our 35th episode today.
Thanks. Yeah, no.
Of the Ben Bosscher Show.
All right. Well, I did make a promise to the people that we'd be back to over 500.
Yes, in less than 10 days.
So we're going to have to start taking some aggressive swings here if that's the case. It is Dinger Tuesday. Riley Green. Home run. Against Mr. Keller.
This is just...
Right-handed pitcher. Riley Green gets himself back into it. The Tigers' offense explodes today. It's one of those days where everyone gets 2 at-bats in the first inning and a half. And it's one of those 13-run games, I pray. And Riley Green is a contributor and mashes a home run. What were the odds on that?
Plus 480.
Hey, we hit a couple of these, and we're right back into it.
I was going to say, it's funny to think like a plus 480 bet really, it takes a chunk away for sure.
Yeah, no, we'll just hit another one the next day.
But you're still over 7 units down.
If we hit today, it gives us a shot to actually get out of July.
It does. I will say, though, I just love how this is the approach. Instead of just seeing one go in, let me take a minus 200 bet, and then maybe it'll spark something.
No.
Just going just doubling down, basically.
We're not getting back to 500 by the end of July.
This is just definition of poor gambling.
Yeah, no, for sure. I shouldn't have made the July promise to everyone.
Yeah.
Because once July rolls around, I think I'm going to okay, whatever.
August, you mean?
Yeah, once August rolls around, I'm going to start doing that and slowly trying to work my way back up. But I put the expectation that we'd be back to 500 by August, so I kind of have to start taking some bigger swings.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if we hit today, get ourselves back into it. Maybe we do something with the Ryder Cup in a couple weeks. I don't know. We have to get to 500 though. There is no other option but to get to 500. And the only thing that people have suggested was do that taco eating contest at River Days in a couple of weeks. And I'm actually going to be out of town that day, so won't be able to do it. But maybe I'll take a video of me trying to eat 9 tacos.
We also
in 4
just
minutes,
need people to give us suggestions for Ben's punishment,
which is you mean inevitable?
Yes, the punishment that is going to happen. Yes. So if you're listening on YouTube, put it in the chat. If you're just listening on the Mitt, text 989-837-6125. We need punishment ideas for Ben, reasonable ones at least, of course.
Yeah, and then, you know what? No, screw that. You can text in the punishments. I'm going above 500 by the end of the month. Yeah, I'm doubling down. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I will choose to not tailor fade today's bet. I feel like a near plus 500 bet should not be.
No, do it. Do it. Fade it. Do it.
I've hit 5 in a row, by the way.
Do it. Do it.
I'm 6-5-1 on the tailor fade. I've been on a hot streak. Thank you, Brad, for helping me out with the fade there on Friday.
Yep.
Sure, I'll fade. Why not? I'm not going to root against Riley Green to hit a home run. If he does, I'll be happy that it happens for sure. But I feel no other choice but to fade this.
Okay. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, our other tradition to close out each show is our prediction on Colin Cowherd's Open, a game I'm actually kind of good at. So what's the total scores here?
10-6 is still the total score. Yesterday we went 0 for kind of an L on both of our behalfs yesterday.
I just didn't expect him to open up with Scheffler. I didn't, but
it's the best golfer in the world winning the final major of the PGA Tour. Like, it kind of made sense at the end of the day.
I'm too new into golf to recognize when he's going to do it and when he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Now I know. If Scottie Scheffler wins a major, very likely chance on Monday he's talking about it.
I think he led
so
even
many
with
Tiger
JJ
comparisons.
Spawn. But, yeah, so we were both wrong yesterday. You guessed WNBA All-Star Game. I guessed Lakers, I think. Marcus Smart going to the Lakers. Kind of a bad one.
He definitely talked about both of those throughout the show, though. His stuff on Kelsey Plum yesterday was crazy.
Oh, I missed
Basically told her to shut up.
Ooh.
It was funny.
Well, he is Caitlin Clark's biggest fan, so. It is your turn to go first today, Ben.
I used to, like, in the first stages of the show, prep this prior to the show. Now I just kind of get
I
it.
never do. I think you just kind of think it off the top of your head. What's going on?
What is going on today?
I have a good pick, I will say. I feel good about my pick as long as you don't take it.
It's got to be the Trey Hendrickson stuff, right? I'm gonna go back to the Trey Hendrickson stuff. Bengals disaster. This is a bad run organization. Joe Burrow has kind of been in charge here for a while, and it's led to the Bengals, not kind of running out of money, and they've always been a poor run organization, bad owners, all that stuff. Bad ownership from the Bengals is my pick for Colin.
Yeah, that's the answer. That's what I was gonna go with. It's a good pick. It's relevant now that obviously he finally has held out. I don't really think there's an NBA option for today.
No.
LeBron was in that Tyler, the Creator music video. Like, is he about to talk about that?
Goes hard.
No.
Yeah, no. He might open with it.
So I think the only other option for me to go here is to pivot to the other edge rusher that might have something going on, and a team that we actually haven't heard him lead with, I don't think, once yet this offseason, but is always a go-to team, and that's the Dallas Cowboys.
You're so going to win.
So I'll go with Micah Parsons. But Micah Parsons showed up. It's not like there's drama there right now.
He could just call Jerry Jones an idiot.
Right, and that's very likely. So I'm going to go Cowboys, Micah Parsons discussion. That's where I'll lean with it. You go Bengals, I go Cowboys. I think those are both solid picks. I would assume one of us get a point today, right? I don't know what the other options are. He's not talking baseball. What is
not
the
talking
NBA
baseball.
topic?
There's not like a quarterback situation that's going on right now. There's nothing in the NBA.
Nothing in the NBA.
I don't think he would do Scheffler
WNBA
2 days
right
in
now.
a row. What do you think about all these Tiger and Scheffler comparisons? Because Colin's take on it, I thought, was actually pretty good yesterday. They're equally as
Well, you can't compare anyone to Tiger.
well. He did in a way that was they're equally in terms of dominance, but Tiger leaned into the aura and being the star a little bit more, which made him a little bit more fun to watch.
He was also like the first guy to do that in golf too, which made it even more special.
Lean into the
yes,
stardom
to be
of
like
it?
the star and like the just the energy and the enthusiasm that he brought. Like that we hadn't really seen that.
Right, Scotty wasn't even the most popular golfer being followed this weekend.
No, and I don't think he ever will be with Rory. Even Rory is the most popular golfer in golf.
Because Rory's a better all-time golfer than Scotty.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
But
and
Scotty
and
is
obviously
just-
when Tiger still plays, he's the most popular guy no matter what. The Scotty-Tiger comparisons are happening because of like the way they've started their careers, like that eerily similar amount of days between Major 1 win to Major 4 win.
Mhm.
They're the same amount of days. That's kind of crazy. But like Tiger is also just unbeatable in a lot of this stuff. Like the run that Scotty's on is comparable to the start of Tiger's career for sure.
It feels like
But
when
it's gonna
Scotty
have to be unreal for him to match that. I mean, like it's not going to happen, you know. And I'm the biggest Scotty fan there is.
If Scotty has a lead on Saturday on the back nine, it just feels like it's over.
Yeah,
like
if
no one's
Scotty's
catching him.
tied, if Scotty's one or two down, it's just like
He doesn't bogey.
no.
Like you can't catch him once he has a 2-stroke lead on you. It's over, which it's incredible to watch.
It is. I doubt.
But I also wish
Colin
Sundays
leads
were a
in the
little bit more fun.
Yeah,
because it's like
when he's
over
in
on
charge,
Sunday
it's-
morning.
Yeah, that's how the PGA Championship was too. It was just never, it was never close on Saturday, Sunday. That's how dominant he is.
That's what I want. We need another guy in there in the mix. Someone's got to step their golf game up next year to get in the mix with Scotty and Rory here.
But
Make
honestly,
Sundays a little more fun.
What an unreal tour year! You have Scotty winning 2 majors and Rory winning the Masters.
That feels so disrespectful towards JJ Spawn.
No, it
that you
isn't.
didn't mention him.
Because he's not a legend. I mean, you have the best golfer in the world winning 2 of the 4 majors, and then Rory completing the Grand Slam, winning the Masters, and the other one. That's an elite year of golf.
I'm just joking.
I'm joking.
So I know you asked me this yesterday, but odds of Scotty winning the Open next year, or not the Open, but the what's the last one he needs? PGA.
Yeah, he needs a U.S. Open.
Oh yeah, U.S. Open. He's gonna be the favorite.
Yeah, of course he'll be the favorite. I mean, it's probably just going to be like plus 400, you know?
We
Like
should
whatever,
just take
whatever
it.
the odds are for that.
Next Ryder Cup, I might just take Scotty.
Well, that's not how it works, but
Oh, is that the U.S. versus?
yes,
Yeah.
versus Europe, yes.
Yeah.
Europe winning last time.
Again, first year into this.
Yeah, it's going to be I'm excited for the
I've very
I
much
was gonna
enjoyed
buy
my
st-
first year into
I was
into
going to
golf.
buy stock in U.S. golfers actually yesterday. because they were like 9 out of the top 15 in the Open Championship this weekend.
Is that this weekend or next week in the Ryder Cup?
The Ryder Cup's not till like September.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not for a while. It only happens every 2 years.
Oh.
Well, every other year, I guess, technically. But, yeah, U.S. versus Europe is going to be a ton of fun.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that in September, I guess.
When there's so much other things to talk about.
Yeah, we probably won't talk about it very much.
Yeah, we'll mention it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. We will be back tomorrow. As always, 9 a.m. Start your days right with us here in Midland, Michigan, or live on YouTube as well. You guys can watch the stream of it. Always a good time there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps push the content out. We appreciate all our listeners, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or right here in the Great Lakes Bay region listening on your car. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Go Tigers tonight. Hopefully we see what happens at the deadline. Ben Bosscher Show.